Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how the hell did I get here? Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy, had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar, a straight-up omelet bar. And now look, my former intern's tossing me down a bottomless freaking pit. You know, come to think of it, my whole life has been a series of what the moments. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
You said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
At the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom.
Hello, everybody. What's going on? Man. Oh, crap. Hey, Army, make up your mind. Day on, day off, half day, or whatever. But don't cancel my fucking leave or try to cancel my leave right before I go when I've already got a fucking ticket and I got family that want to go see overseas and stuff like that because you want to be a dick. Hi, what's going on?
Tell us how you really feel.
Welcome to the Monday edition on WTFNationRadio.com. This is Ice. I got Flash, and I got Mawa with me on here on the Monday edition, broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence on this 18 December 2017. Yeah.
Best place in the world.
Oh, yeah.
What a day.
Oh, my fucking God. What a fucking Monday.
Ice, I need to know if you want to go ahead and do... Ice, I want to know if you... Buster and Ice, could you make this happen? Ice, we need to have this... What?
Hey, well, who's in charge of this?
Well, normally we have Sergeant so-and-so do that.
Well, where's Sergeant So?
They're on leave.
Well, it's not my fault that you let, I don't know, your whole fucking shot. Because here's what they do. They go through the roster and they find out who is not going to take leave or who is going to take leave. Because I'm going to take leave next week. But my point being is that, you know, I wait for a little bit so that way I can get my family together and also the crap. And then the next thing you know, they're like, oh.
Well, Ice, if you're gonna, is it okay if you pull my staff duty for the next 48 to 72 hours?
Yeah, but it's like back-to-back duties.
Well, I'm sure you don't have a family. Well, we can cancel your leave.
I'm like, you can cancel my leave, huh? Oh, yeah, thank you. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, try to cancel my fucking leave.
All the time because I used to never take leave during Christmas because my stepdaughter would fly in from Virginia and we can't go outside of Texas per the court order.
Oh God,
so
yeah.
I would never take leave because what's the point? I could save it for the summer when I can do whatever I want, and everyone comes up, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? I'm like, I'm in the PAO shop. Well, we need you to come down here and do these 4187s. I'm like, I have no clue what you just said to me. I'm PAO. That's not my purview. Go away. But I did make a lot of money on those days. They're like, hey, can you do my staff duty? Sure.
Yeah.
$200.
Yeah, exactly.
Supply and demand.
God.
The good old days. They used to make extra cash for just sitting around playing video games.
Yeah, exactly. Hang on, somebody said am I coming here broken and stupid? Hang on. Let me see, hang on. Let me see.
But I did make a lot of money.
Let me see, hang on. Somebody's like fucking said. Yeah, exactly. Oh, whoa, there you go. I'm screaming at you. All right.
You usually are.
Yeah, well,
it's not a new thing.
Oh, dude, I'm just so fucking exactly that. Well, see, when I was a Joe, you're Joe stuck in the barracks. Of course, you're gonna make some money, right? Well, then the next thing you know, you have fucking, you have other duties that you're doing, and you're like, hey, you know what? I'll pay you. I was making, especially when I was stationed overseas, I was making mad cash during the fucking holiday weekend. Because that way I could, if I wasn't going anywhere and I was wanted to go hang out overseas and go hang out to overseas locations and go hang out and experience the holidays over there. Sometimes I had that. Sometimes I flew back. But, yeah, there's a couple times where I would rake in almost a couple grand. just didn't realize people were so whatever. Well, now as I'm more senior, they just assume.
Well, you're not gonna do anything anyways, right? Let's go ahead and put you on this tasker.
What tasker is that?
Well, it's no big deal. You gotta do a briefing.
What briefing is this? You know, I think I want you to talk about shit like you just said. I have no idea what the fuck this is about. Or, ICE was here. No, dude. So, yeah, breaking news. Well, it's not been breaking. It's been happening since what? Earlier today.
This morning, yeah.
This morning, a train derailed out in Tacoma. And right now they're currently tracking 6 confirmed dead and a bunch of injuries. And it derailed over a bridge crossing over I-5.
During its inaugural ride on a new route.
Yeah, it was a new route, and it is an inaugural ride, exactly. So brand new.
Hey guys, we
Titanic.
got new tracks. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what sucks is that there was supposedly. Now here's where I'm busting out some tinfoil hat. And I'm not going to say anything, but we're not speculating. But we've heard reports that Antifa and several enviro terrorisms people said that this was something that was gonna happen.
Well, it's weird because
already.
you say that. I have an article here that says Mayor Don Anderson and other city officials in Lakewood, southwest of Tacoma, attended a meeting December 4th on the new project to upgrade the tracks. KOMO News reports, that's the local channel out there. Anderson believed it was only a matter of time the high-speed train would be involved in a deadly accident. Quote, come back when there's an accident and try to justify not putting in those safety enhancements, or can go back now and advocate for the money to do it because the project was never needed and endangered our citizens, Anderson said. Anderson also advocated for grade separation, including overpasses, to keep trains sufficiently separated from the pedestrian cars. Pretty much saying that there were some safety things that people were skipping on, and he knew they knew that a high-speed train was going to end up doing what it did today. And it was pretty, if you didn't see any of the video or the pictures, the train is literally hanging off the bridge.
Yeah, well,
dangling
exactly.
and stuff.
Exactly.
And it's a tragedy. And
it was traveling approximately.
Thoughts and prayers, as much as those help or whatnot, go out to the families, because we know that's a horrible thing to have happen.
Especially a train wreck. A train wreck is not a
easy way out.
There's not an easy way out. There is. You don't realize how fragile you are until you've been onto a scene like that. And wow.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're right. Hearts and prayers go out to the family. It was traveling approximately 80 miles an hour, and it was all of the cars, with the exception of the prime moving locomotive, was left on the rails. That was sitting normal. So right now, of course, all trains have, just like they have black boxes, they have radio transmission equipment, and there's been some tweets from Antifa that have been thrown out and saying that they were gonna, fuck up, they're gonna pour cement or some shit like that, and all sorts of crap. So it's just one of those things where you're like, Well,
Why
not
can't
only
some people go away?
Yeah,
because. Well, as long as people have social media, they'll really never go away. They only get quiet until they can. It's just like ISIS. ISIS will get quiet. Somebody will do something, and ISIS will go, "Oh, that was us. That was go ISIS. We did that. We told you."
They'll take blame.
The bitches.
Yeah, they'll take credit for it, but it's not really going to happen.
Well,
it's not really true.
You're talking about tweets. President Trump tweeted shortly after the derailment, quote, "The train accident that just occurred in DuPont, Washington, shows more than ever why our soon-to-be submitted infrastructure plan must be approved quickly. $7 trillion spent in the Middle East, while our roads, bridges, tunnels, railways, parentheses, and more crumble. Not for long." So, again, it's weird. If it's a shooting, Democrats, Republicans will instantly go out and make it to politicize it. Now, apparently it's a train wreck. We're going to go out and politicize that for infrastructure. While do I think that maybe making our infrastructure better? Yeah. But maybe that maybe not be the best time right after a train derailment that killed people.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about.
Saying.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about policy.
Good job, press team up there. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of advisement. There should be a wait period or something like that, or at least, they should at least hand the president the Twitter phone on his BlackBerry or iPad, whatever the hell he's got that he's using to tweet out. They should like play football. Hey, the president wants to tweet something. Have you seen the tweet machine? No, I haven't seen it. Have you seen it? No, I haven't seen it. And it's like playing it around for about a good hour and a half, 2 hours. And then, oh, hey, sir, this is what you wanted me to say, right? And then that way he can just hit send. Because that's usually what happens. If you leave it in his hands, I have a feling he just goes out and just says, fuck it, I'm just writing whatever I fucking want. You know, like the rambling old man sitting on a goddamn porch, rocking in his chair. Kind of want to wait until things kind of, like you said, die down a little bit before you start throwing some...
The only problem, his porch is the White House.
Yeah.
So I do have, so it says over 100 people have been transported to the hospital, and 3 are dead after the Amtrak train derailment. That's coming from CNN. And if you hate CNN, then please go away, because I will cite them and Fox News and MSNBC. So if there's somebody you don't like, please listen to our last show.
Yeah, that's... Well, no, it's kind of one of those things to where we already... You cite everybody. You know what I mean? You got to cite 3 sources, right, when you're doing a story. So
yeah, because when I did the first one, that story from KMO News came from Fox News. Ha! I got you covered.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we run it is still a news, an accredited news agency, I guess you'd say, more than would be anything else. Just like we are. Did you believe that? Someone's already cited us as news? We're sort of kind of like journalists or some shit like that.
Dun, dun, dun. That's a scary day.
I know.
Yes, it is.
Could you imagine? There's like Army PAOs freaking the fuck out because, you know how, I'm not, you being an exception, of course, Flash. There's some guys that really think that
I don't hold it against you. You're okay.
Yeah, they really think that that we are an abomination. That WTF Nation Radio, and well, actually, the leadership doesn't, but the younger ones do. The minions.
The funny thing is that because you're talking about that, it's the mid-level guys.
Correct.
Now if you're on the ground PAOs, like I guess we're no longer at brigades anymore. So
yeah.
The ones that are at the IMPADs, the ones that maybe are at division, the ones that used to be at brigade, you always kind of hoped you wouldn't see your name on U.S. Army WTF moments. You kind of hope that's nothing too big. Exactly. But then it's like it's gonna go away. Or if you're nice enough and when somebody from U.S. Army WTF moments reaches out to you, hint, advice, any PAOs listening, and they ask you to clarify a story. Do not ignore them and actually do your job and give out the facts, because I won't lie, a certain brigade that I worked for had quite a few stories not come out about them because I was able to correct the information and it became a non-story. Hint, wink, wink, you bastards. It's the ones that it's the ones in the mid-level, like near the like at core and stuff like that, are the ones that think that we're horrible. It's the staff sergeant that's up there going, I don't think we should work with WTF U.S. Army Mom. I don't think we should do this, that, and the other. And higher up, we actually got a tweet back a couple of weeks ago. We extended a hand to the Sergeant Major of the Army Public Affairs,
the PAO
who
Sergeant
works for the Chief of the Army Public Affairs, and actually reached out asking if they would like to come on and talk about the public affairs world and everything. And we even got a message back saying they're going to try to work it out.
Yeah, but it was more so of a joke, though, a little bit. You know what I mean? It was more so. It wasn't really a joke. We were kind of like, yeah, haha. Too bad. Well, you're gonna come.
It was a joke that could potentially become an actual interview because
they
realize that there's a chance that we, working with us isn't going to be horrible. It's those mid-level guys. It's the sergeant first classes and the staff sergeant at like a corps that are the ones freaking out because they're like, oh my God, no, it goes against everything we learn at Dinfos. No.
Yeah, of course. Hey, Dinfos, you need to fucking update your shit. Get with the times. The battlefield is actually moving faster than you think. So should you as the information wing of the command. Ooh, does that sound like very propagandish or something like that? Anyways, no, you're right. It's one of those things where we want to have that dialogue because we want to fucking know, because then we will have our panel of radio hosts that will say, yeah, I wonder what happened. Well, what happened with this? What happened with that? What happened with this? What happened with that? So yeah. Well, somebody's throwing out some other reports. Reports of soldiers and airmen running to the victims. Yeah, okay, that's awesome. That's good shit. So very good shit.
See, that's a cool story.
Yeah, that's a cool story right there. Yeah. Why don't guys stop speculating in the Facebook live chat and stop saying who is the right to have whatever of right whatever. Wait till something officially is released before you start saying from what you've heard or what you look at. Hey, what's up, tacticalreviews.com? Yeah, they're going to be coming. Dan Thurs is going to be coming on 2100. I'm glad you could join. Wow, they're engaged in the freaking Facebook live chat. Damn, I better be quiet.
Hell yeah, they're ready to go. I won't lie. I've been following Tactical Reviews for a while, my own personal, and I'm glad that I decided to go on our Twitter and follow them because they hit us up. We're like, hey, we'd love to come on your show. I was like, well, hot damn, I love these guys. They get some pictures of some cool ass weapons. I'm not a huge gun nut where I need to get like the newest AR decked out and everything, but tell you what, they have some sexy weapons on there. I do read them quite a bit because one of these days I'm actually going to get my AR, and damn if I don't use them for advice.
Oh yeah, dude, you just go on there and check it out. I mean, you guys will see them on there in a minute. We already got their name tag, but again, yeah, no, I'm serious. They got them tagged. They got us tagged too. They're all happy. They got us invited on their calendar, and
they love us.
Yeah,
they
dude,
really love us.
you guys, and gosh darn it, you Tactical Reviews likes us. They also got did you see their audio rig that they have on their freaking page that they posted on the 22nd of November? Holy, look at their Facebook page and check out their new audio stuff. Look at that rig that they got set up for broadcasting stuff and podcasting. That is baller, dude. That is baller. If you look at how that thing is set up, I think I just found a new weapon station setup for me to do my shit. My shit's just all sitting on the desk and it's got, some fucking blankets over it or near it and all that. But if you look at their post that they posted up on the 22nd of November, holy crap. It's nice. Nice rig. Nice rig.
It's funny that you do the I love that you do that what do you call it? The accent for our North Korean friends. Have you seen the story that the number 2 official for Kim Jong-un's party is missing, has vanished, has gone? David Copperfield, he's out.
No way.
Yeah,
are you...
there's speculation there. So I read a couple stories about the end of last week, and then there's been another one today on CNN and MSNBC, but you had to search for that one because 90% MSNBC is Donald Trump is gonna kill the world. So you can only handle so much without getting a vaccination or something with them. The guy was moved into power to play against another a higher official, kind of keep them competing at each other, to keep them away from, because everything Kim Jong-un does is to make sure he consolidates power and no one threatens him. If you don't remember, he ordered the assassination of his half-brother. He killed off his uncle. I think that guy died by like a pack of dogs or the aircraft or the anti-aircraft.
I think it was it was the anti-aircraft flat cannon that blew him up.
Yeah, so this guy is not afraid to kill people. Let's just kill his family. So, but all of a sudden, the number 2 guy who was in all these pictures and was one of the pictures of the last ICBM launch has vanished, has gone. All the spies in South Korea are like, whoa, we think he's dead. So potentially, he's isolating himself even more. Tell you what, if there was ever a time for me to be a little uneasy about North Korea actually doing something, it's when he's so far up and no one's around him that he's going to make a stupid idea and just go, all right, let's blow this shit up.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that
too.
But
I mean, again, most of that is speculation. That's just my flash opinion.
Of course.
It doesn't give me There are credible reports coming in on 2 different sites saying that North Korea's number 2 guy is missing. That usually only means one thing.
Well, I mean, part of the problem that I see with the way it's if you don't know if he's missing, is he defecting, or missing if he's gonna hide because just in case little fat man freaking bites the dust. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to make that because they're so unpredictable. Nobody because think about what they've done so far. They've been told already since this administration's been in office about a year that if you do this, you're gonna you're gonna have the repercussions. You do this, you will pay for it. If you do this, whatever. 5 fucking incidents, dude. 5 incidents. And
I'm sure they have. I don't think they have a designated survivor, which is a shit show, and I forget which channel does that, but shit show. But how the hell is this man able to walk in the uniform he's wearing? He's got like 1,000 different medals and ribbons and shit.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
His hat is as big as a damn fucking bowl.
I want to know. I want to know what those
Probably
medals are
double
for.
to use it for rice.
I want. Yeah. I want to know what the medals are for. What war have they been in recently? That's you know what I mean?
He doesn't look old enough to be in the Korean War.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. So going back on this Amtrak stuff, just real quick summary: that Amtrak derailed on a highway bridge outside of Seattle. Train falls on I-5. It was traveling approximately about 80 miles an hour. There was approximately 83 on board. I'm not giving this on approximately, okay? So don't fucking shoot me if I say something fucking wrong or try to Facebook troll me.
Well, I shouldn't get it right.
It's first, like Flash said, it was the first day of the new service, the new connecting line. But if we want to go back, Al Qaeda did freaking say that they were going to threaten fucking trains and shit like that. Everyone had even said that there was a lack of security. It was pretty lax. Antifa and a bunch of enviro trash bragged about sabotaging the tracks. And like you said before, Flash, the mayor had even said, I'm worried about this shit. No, I'm worried about this because there's some stuff going on. What are we doing? What are we doing on the main page? Well, we blasted out obviously the story, but we also, if you're able to donate blood, go to the Madigan Annex at the hospital next to Ramp 2, building in 9904 in Tacoma, and then you can call 253-968-1850 or 253-968-1903, so you can call up and say, hey, I'm here to donate blood for the incident that happened, because right now apparently the hospital's out of blood. So they need blood.
So if you can help, please get out there.
Please get out there and help out.
You'll help more than you think.
Yeah, trust me. So again, like I said, Madigan Annex next to Ramp 2, building 9904, Washington 98431. Area code 253-968-1850 or 1903. So that way you can go, give them a call, let them know what's going on, so that way you can, hey, I'm going to show up and donate blood, and then we're good to go. So right now, that's the kind of the main thing. Everyone's saying right now it is 6 dead. It's so far confirmed and all that. Now, I'm always going to go with the latest report of what Amtrak had posted and what the Washington State DOT and the news. That's everyone's saying the same shit, like you said, Flash. Everyone's saying at least 6. So everyone else, don't jump on my balls about fucking. You're wrong. You're giving off rat stab. Shut up. I'm just giving the information just like I'm seeing it.
Now here's the problem with any time there's information like that needs to be put out, is everyone wants the information right now. We used to use the Fort Hood incident as reference for this, of all the wrong numbers and everything going on with the Fort Hood shooting, because everyone wants to just get everyone. I know everyone wants to know what's going on, but guaranteed the people on the ground who are there still don't have the full picture. You got to give the story time to breathe. Usually, I'll speculate only of I'll go off like the latest, like the report here. It's that updated 809 does say 6 dead according to Amtrak officials. I will go off of that.
Yeah.
But I will not. I will say there's always going to be updates because people die at the hospital and stuff happens. Just relax. The information will come. You just gotta actually wait for it.
No, you're right. I think now, because now the news cycle is to blast out who said it first. You notice that the media is starting to do that now. They're trying to race with the information first, and they want to race it out first. That way they can spin their narrative to what they fucking want, and then at the end they'll go.
Well, we went from having a 24-hour news cycle to having a 24-second news cycle.
Oh, yeah.
And you're very right. Whoever can put this out first gets control of the spin, because no matter what channel you're on, there's always spin. You can think that Fox News is the all-in, be-all of news. They have a spin. CNN has a spin. MSNBC, Politico, ABC News, MSNBC, blah. They all have their own spin. Whoever can get it out first with the least correct information, or at least close enough at the time, controls the narrative and can take it any way they want. Because you could see it. The first people to push out the church shooting not so long ago were able to construct the narrative and already push out information to that narrative before the other channels were really jumping on the ball. So then they couldn't really jump on or change the narrative because there was always set one. Once you put something into people's mind, 9 times out of 10, it's going to take like a great Luke, I am your father. No, in order to change that freaking change their mind about something. So, then a lot of mistakes are made.
When it's actually, no, I am your father.
It's not even just media that tries to put it out there first. Even, people like private citizens and social media, they try to be the first one, or the person that knows all because they live in that town or something like that. Even then, you don't know everything.
Oh, fucking hate people like that. I fucking hate
because everyone wants to be a journalist now.
Yeah.
I mean, because they have CNN, CNN One or whatever, where you can submit stories to CNN, which is a crock of shit because you're practically doing their work for them. But thanks to Twitter, you can be your own journalist and push out this information first. If you, God forbid, if you're lucky enough to get a video of an incident as it happens, when it happens, you're going to be on national TV. Everyone's going to see that it's at WTR Nation Radio. That's what everyone wants to be. Everyone wants their 15 seconds of fame because that's how you do it, is be the first one. So I do have some stats, some actual statistics.
Shoot.
So the Amtrak 101 derailment site. So 13 train cars jumped off the track. And this is updated as of 8:09 today, so it is a little of the tiniest late. 77 passengers and 7 crew members were on board. More than 100 people were taken to the hospital. Positive train control was not activated. I'm not sure exactly what positive train control, so I'll look that up. And the second engine did not derail. At least 5 vehicles on the ground were hit by the train. No fatalities in the vehicles hit by the train cars. And so go ahead and talk because I'm going to figure out what positive train control is.
Well, no, I was just going to expand on what you were saying about the people the know-it-all people that really, because I know what's going to happen after I talk about what I'm going to talk about right now. It's going to get you off the fucking subject immediately when I bring this up. It's like the net neutrality.
Well, then let me stop you there. Then positive train control is is an advanced system designed to automatically stop a train before certain accidents occur. In particular, PTC is designed to prevent train-to-train collisions, derailments caused by excessive train speeds, train movement through misaligned track switches. So, a pretty important safety feature was apparently not activated when this train had the accident.
It's Al says don't want to be a journalist. Hey, I think we just got thrown into this fucking job. I mean,
right?
You know what I mean? I just wanted to provide information and entertainment to the veteran community. I didn't know I was going to be tagged because they tag U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio as fucking journalists. And so, I mean, it's
because we're awesome. We're better commentators than Rachel Maddow and Lou Dobbs will ever be.
Well, we also tell the fucking truth and we ask the fucking common sense question. So lately on my news feed, on news feeds and my inboxes and hey, share this, share that. Net neutrality. I can't fucking believe that people have sucked the donkey dong on this fucking propaganda that has been spun by everybody on either side on something they technically do not know. What people don't understand is that net neutrality is a technical term. And it is mostly technical. It's almost as if you, the individuals who are critiquing for or against it, are in an airline fucking jet, and you're flying from wherever to say you're flying from Texas to freaking Colorado, and you're flying and you experience turbulence, and you feel that your somewhat Call of Duty, Xbox fucking Grand Theft Auto knowledge of fucking flying is going to tell that pilot how he should fucking fly. When they introduce new systems to airlines as like, I don't know, backup generators in a fucking airport, ATL, GPSs or something like that. If you don't know the technical reasons why or what's going on with this, shut up. I mean, stay out of it. You're probably, because not everyone, and I've been kind of trolling some people. Well, not kind of, I have been trolling people. What do you mean by this? What does it mean? But tell me what that means when you say it's an issue and it's about all control. Who's controlling what? I'm not doing it to be a smartass. I want to know what control you are talking about. The government releasing, not they're talking about releasing, taking, whatever. Like I said, it's all fucking technical terms and shit like that. This dude that freaking repealed that crap was talking about, what was his name? Ajit Pai. Ajit Pai is freaking.
And to note, he's Obama approved.
Yeah, he was appointed. He was appointed by the Obama administration. So here's where we go.
And then the Republicans just went, yeah, we like him. You're good to go.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Just to clarify.
Just to clarify exactly that. So he was appointed by the previous administration, and it was implemented in secret. Not everybody knew what was happening. Because get this, guys, nation. He implemented a program that happened 2 years ago. What was going on 2 years ago? Campaigning for what? That's why I like all this I love these investigations and these special counsels that are happening. I like watching shit like that because I want to know if they got the goods on anyone and anything, and they keep shifting up to other shit because right now guys can't talk to women in grocery stores without being accused of sexual harassment because of this shit. 2 years ago, what was going on? We had the elections, right? That was a lot of the content control and all that. Mark Zuckerberg was sitting there talking shit about how we should not have the government control everything. Yeah, Mark. Yeah,
exactly. Has came out and said that they control certain things.
They control certain things. Correct.
They classify certain things as hate speech or whatever.
Correct.
That pisses things that piss people off, which so happens to come from one side more than the other.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I know we're broadcasting on Facebook and on Mixer and on TuneIn and on YouTube. I think we still are. But Zuckerberg, you suck ass. You just need you create a good system. Now back the fuck off.
Exactly that. It's like the internet. You couldn't control it. It's like the internet was being created and you can't control it. You cannot stop. I mean, it is a viable, almost artificial intelligence when it comes to stuff like this. You can't stop it. That's like trying to say that you're trying to hold back. See, tech will always overcome. Think about how much it was for a thumb drive back in the day for 100 megs. Think about it. How much it cost?
Dear, a gigabyte. Was it a 10 gigabyte hard drive was like $50 to $100. Yeah. Now I can get a terabyte for like 20.
You can get a terabyte for like. Well, I looked because I was looking at some stuff for my film shit. It was about $108 for a 2 terabyte drive. And I could get an SD card that holds 162 gigs for my cameras and shit. And why? Because tech will evolve it. They won't be able to slow it down. If they try to slow it down, it will cause a backup and will cause it to fail. Tech will always surpass it. So when people say, well, net neutrality is, the government's going to be holding all this and all that. Somebody that was appointed by the administration of past is being fucking death threatened. He's being fucking threatened. So what I don't get is that all the people who are talking shit about this FCC chairman, literally, he's getting tweets saying, I want to murder this man. I want this guy to die. This guy deserves to die for what happens. Over the fucking internet. That's like...
Here, I know what needs to happen. Jimmy Kimmel just needs to go on his show again, bring his kid out, talk about net neutrality, and then we'll all go along with what Jimmy Kimmel says because he has a kid.
Don't get me fucking started.
Oh, that piece of shit.
Yeah, I had to add that in there because I won't lie. When it comes to the whole healthcare, I believe that no side in the arguments are right. I think there's a compromise that needs to happen in order for the country to do better. Let me get off my soapbox now. Cha-ching. It's a cheap fucking move to bring your son out to say, well, without healthcare, he'll die. Bitch, you make millions of dollars. Shut the fuck up.
Thank you.
Shut the fuck up. You can afford to take your kid to any country to get any kind. Your son needs a new pinky toe. We will find a kid in Indonesia that has a pinky toe to your liking and put it on for you and give you a free roll of duct tape just to add on.
What happened to
off? You have no right to talk, one, about healthcare, two, about taxes, because your motherfucker has been doing fucking, the tax shelters and shit your whole career too, because you're not stupid. And now you're going to come on net neutrality. Bitch, go ahead and bring your kid out this time too. Well, go ahead. You've already stooped to a whole new low. Fuck, this is why I never liked Jimmy Kimmel. Fuck you, you stupid, stupid motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna bring here. You know what I need to do? I need to bring Baby Flash on my on this show. So then when I talk about something, I can be like, "But I have Baby Flash," and then everyone goes, "Oh, Flash is a genius. Let's go, Flash."
So just curious, like which government used children to persuade others in their agenda?
What? As far as what?
Like other governments, communist government. Oh, it's for the children. Do it for the children.
Yeah, do it for the children. No, that seems to be the going. Well, right now it's for women. Right now, because women now.
Yeah, well, fuck women.
Yeah, they're all like whatever. And it's kind of ironic that Jimmy Kimmel's talking all this shit and his dad is an IBM exec. So or was, you know what I mean? So shut up.
All statements and comments made by WTF Nation Radio are the sole
hang on. Yeah.
Anything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries.
Fuck Jimmy Kimmel. Anyways, so my point being is
Fuck
that if your dad is an IBM exec and all this other shit, and you know for a fact that you had, you know what I mean, he had made money. In other words, like you said, money was not an issue to him. You know what I mean? There was no issues with him. He was on different shows and all this other stuff. So if you want to talk crap about whatever's going on and saying what's up with your what's going on with your kids, some of the, you know what? There's some kids there are some families out there that can't even afford to get the diagnostic to know that their kid is sick, unlike him. He can go out and say, oh, I need to go get this done diagnostic. Diagnostics are fucking expensive, but I'm pretty sure he can kick the $800 to $900 for a diagnostic to happen for his kid. And that's how he discovered he had this, whatever he's got going on with his kid. You know what I mean?
I grew up with that. Because if you only saw my medical bills, like now, thank God for TRICARE. But growing up with my infusions and shit, like my dad and both of my parents work, and they were at that point where they couldn't get state assistance because they quote unquote made too much money.
Yep.
And then a lot of hospitals, they have programs where I guess it's kind of charitable, the tax write-off for them. Quote unquote, they made too much money for, to be able to get assistance that way. So sometimes my parents were fucking either, making sure the car is running for something, or I got my medications. Jimmy Kimmel will never fucking experience that, ever. And none of those rich ass politicians who are up on Capitol Hill will ever experience it. Ever.
Yeah, he's freaking the fuck out. I mean, he's crying. He's making that anti-litter campaign Indian. You know the Indian that wasn't even an Indian, that was on horseback looking at the litter back in the day. Well, there was a campaign when I was growing up, and it was an Indian that was going around seeing litter on the fucking plains, right? And he was crying. He was tearing up. And you would see the crying Indian, right? Jimmy Kimmel
It was a good commercial.
Yeah, well, they were. I mean, it worked. Think about it. Use that, give a hoot, don't pollute. Smokey Bear, only you can prevent forest fires. It's Sam Elliott does his voice. And then you got the crying Indian. Jimmy Kimmel is now the crybaby fucking snowflake crying Indian. He's a crying Indian. That's all he fucking does is just fucking cry about shit. Because his show...
He used to be funny.
That's what I'm saying. His show used to be about entertainment. I used to watch... Oh, right. Here we go. Tonight's show... Okay. What's he... Yeah. Okay. And then he's... and because of Trump. And because of Trump. And Trump. And it's just Trump. Look at my kid. Trump. And I'm like, oh my God.
This is the same guy who said Trump will never be president.
Of course. Well, and he also had he also had the president's predecessor on there saying that he will never be president either. It was almost like a jab. But my point being is that if you were on a show to entertain, then come on the fucking show and entertain. Make me laugh, monkey. Then entertain me. That's what your job is for. Your job is to entertain me. Your job is to go on the show. Everybody want. Because think about like today, a fucking Monday, half day fucking schedules, day on day off schedules, what have you, in an army unit, and I'm hearing about fucking soldiers in my unit getting their fucking leave canceled because of stupid shit when family members are already flying in. Well, you just cancel leave. You know what? It's not illegal, but you're still a fucking dick for doing it. So that's why when I hear about the stupid shit like that, I want to come home. I want to flip on my TV and I want to watch U.S. Army WTF or look at WTF, U.S. Army WTF Moments or WTF Nation Radio, listen to some podcasts, hang out, watch. I want to be entertained. I want to escape to my world to be entertained and watch fucking, what about the Man Show? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love that show.
The Man Show was fucking awesome. Well,
and then he got off that show and became stupid.
Yeah.
Well, hey, speaking of net neutrality, because of the vote that everyone is like losing their minds. Remember, it was a 3-2 majority wins, and I listened to some of that, and some people are pretty much saying that these net companies, the ISPs, the people that control the flow, are gonna. This one lady was pretty much saying how it's gonna kill the mom and pop, small business. No, they're not. No one cares about the mom's pop store because it's so tiny. No one. The whole net neutrality thing, it takes a lot of research, and I'm still not 100% on it. All I know is people are losing their minds about something that wasn't a problem before 2015. I could get on the internet just fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I could watch.
Exactly.
They were doing streaming services in 2014.
Yeah,
because I was watching it when I was in when I did a stint out in LA, and I was able to watch Netflix. Not a lot of good shows, but still, I was able to watch Netflix. So you could do everything online up into 2015, but then, like the government likes to do, especially under a certain party's control, the federal government likes to take a little more power that makes a lot of other people not so comfortable about. And this was just another way of government overreaching and government overstepping. So they've peeled that back to let commerce be commerce. The way, other than other than worrying about monopolies, Disney, we're talking about you, other than worrying about that, they're letting commerce be commerce, because you said something very interesting, Ice, that technology will overcome. It always does.
It will.
It gets smarter, it gets smaller, it gets faster. If the big company does this, guarantee there's a techie who's trying to figure out how to make that better or how to make that switch. We were worried about, hey, I don't want people tracking me downloading stuff. Hey, somebody created a VPN, and now it's everywhere. Technology will always overcome. What we can't overcome is stupid people, especially stupid people that like to tell us what we should be doing, should be thinking.
Yep.
One of those, and the Republicans have their own, so don't think I'm just one side or the other. I'm really not.
Yeah, we hate everybody.
Everyone honestly is on my shit list. Is U.S. Senator, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, the Democrat from New York, because they have all the great people, said he will force a vote on a bill that will reinstate the Federal Communication Commission's, FCC for all you people that don't read, net neutrality rules. Legislation to reverse the repeal doesn't need the support of the majority leader, Schumer said during a press conference on last Friday. According to The Hill, we can get it on the floor and force a vote. So there will be a vote to repeal the rule that the FCC passed. So even still, one side saying, let commerce be commerce, and the other side saying, fuck you guys.
Well, no one
we make the rules.
But nobody can articulate. What's up, Kyle? Nobody can. What's up, Kyle? Al, what's up? What's up, Branko? Nobody can articulate though without taking a side to. That's what pisses me off. Nobody can explain to anybody what is it, and then why is it? What does it do? You were talking about the mom and pop. You know what? I can start up my own LLC now. Because of net neutrality being fucking repealed, and start up my own ISP. I can do my own ISP and charge people the low fucking rate, and all I just want to do is just charge. All I want to do is just give people internet, and that's how you expand and create the capital to do it. So that way you can expand your business to create a larger market, and that way you can become competitive against whoever the fuck is whatever. You've always been you gotta pay for services. Motherfucker, what do you think you do when you pay for fucking Xbox? You pay for services. What do you think you do when you got Netflix? You pay for services. What I don't fucking get is how no one is able to articulate what is it exactly. What is, like, no one can open up the book and say net neutrality is blam without taking a side on it or throwing Trump in it. I wanna fucking, in the geekoids that I know are fucking rolling about it, because that's like you getting mad about only having to spend $5,000 on a Corvette that is on a V6, and you're pissed off that Corvette has a V6 in it because you paid $5,000. Well, no shit, because vets don't cost fucking $5,000 with V6s. They cost about $80,000 to $90,000 with V8s in them, because why? You pay for services. I mean, I don't know what other analogy I can throw in here to say that nobody really can. Everyone's dumb. I'm not even a geekoid to even articulate it myself. All I know is that everyone is dumb and immediately throws that this is going to fucking cause burning babies, fires are going to fucking happen, otters are going to fucking explode, Harambe's.
You say otters?
Yeah, because otters are, and it's
those
cute.
Fluffy, cute otters.
Yeah, those exactly. What's going to
Al
happen?
has a good point. It's the mob mentality is more the truth. Exactly right. 9 times out of 10, if you went on the street and went up to somebody, explain to me what net neutrality is, somebody will reinforce whatever line was fed from whatever politician they listen to. No one actually really knows exactly what it means. From what I can gather, and I like to think of myself as decently smart because I do my research, is that all it is lifting the. There isn't a one, the rules aren't the same across the board.
Yeah.
It's not that the way I get it is what the net neutrality was pretty much saying everyone gets equal service, the same bandwidth, no sites get more bandwidth or less bandwidth or whatever. Everyone comes in and out the same.
It was the fucking highway.
That's fine and dandy.
It was the highway.
You're saying, go ahead.
It's like a highway. You just fucking, here's the speed limit for the fucking highway. It's 80 miles an hour. Go. That's it.
If you repeal net neutrality, it means that ISPs can negotiate, especially with bigger things like Amazon, Google, Netflix, because Netflix is thrown in there all the time now, and Hulu, which is 35% owned by Disney. Go Disney. They can negotiate because they take bigger bandwidth. You're streaming in a gigabyte movie or whatnot. There's different bandwidths opposed to the mom and pop candy store that doesn't use a lot.
And it goes
Why
back,
should they have to pay the same as these guys? And it's
exactly.
all about free enterprise and commerce. If you don't like that, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what this really is to me. Is the Republicans want the internet, the providers, and the people that create the content to negotiate and work their own deal instead of the federal government coming in and acting like your mom does. It's like, I'm going to split this toy in half so y'all get your equal share. This is an actual. I'm going to give you, I'm going to let you two figure it out.
Well, did you know that?
Go ahead.
Did you know that German net neutrality laws overseas in Europe? The one that everyone's trying to emulate. Mm-hmm. We can't broadcast over there. We can't
do a lot of stuff.
We can't do a lot of shit overseas. A lot of the stuff that we get openly here, we can't get in Europe because of their net neutrality laws. And so when we repealed it, we were almost kind of like saying, we don't want you to be butthurt. It's almost like you're opening up the fucking. You put a cap on butthurtness when you put the fucking law in. Now that it's repealed, it's back to the way the internet used to be. Now people can get butthurt. You're authorized to butthurt people, and then if there's any drama, you can also involve the Federal Trade Commission to step in and say, I'm getting dick for this and I'm getting dick for that. Why is it that my internet? And like you said before, I always, with Comcast, Bright House, Time Warner, name your fucking ISP, I always say, how come is it that I don't have a fucking phone, I have interwebs, and I have all the cable that I want? Why is there a slow increase to my fucking pay? Why? I mean, to my bill. Why is it? Why is it that it cost me, whatever, at the time it was like $150. Why is it now $150 for that shit? Now is it a year that I've had it, it's now $260. When I'm thinking, why did it raise? Why did internet web? It's almost like air. It's almost like, why do you have to pay 25 cents to fucking put air in your tire? It's fucking free. It's in the air. It's air. It's something that's a naturally occurring event. Just like when it used to blow me away when telecom companies used to charge you for roaming. You're charging somebody for fucking waves that happen natural from a device that's emitting those waves. You're charging somebody for fucking air? Is what you're doing? That's the same way I see it with the internet. You're going to charge somebody for something that's already happening. It's already a natural occurring state, like I said before, due to the technology that's already operating. If the pipes are open and its bandwidth's hauling ass, and you have some slow shit Comcast, maybe you need to fucking, move your shit.
Because people will decide what they want. Because a lot of these net neutrality things, a lot of these companies were already doing deals with these states that made them almost the sole provider for, like Virginia here. We have Comcast, and then finally Verizon Fios has started pushing its way in. In Texas, it was Time Warner. That was it.
Yeah, that's all you get.
There was no other thing unless you got a dish, which is a different league of its own. But we're talking about cable. These states are working around net neutrality by working with these. These ISPs are working around net neutrality with these states in order to be the sole provider. Meaning, you suck up whatever prices they have because they're the only ones who can provide it, which is some bullshit. And David Becker, so I was wrong and you were wrong. It's not 25%, It's not 60% of Hulu that Disney owns now. It's 30% because they got that $60 billion check they had to cash they had to make to 21st Century Fox, and they get a 30% stake in Hulu, which gives them the majority ownership. That'll be fun. But it's this.
Yeah, Star Wars.
It's this whole, like, everyone is just crying about it, and most people won't even do the research to figure out how it's going to affect them. Net neutrality's already been screwing us because the states have been able to work around it this whole time
and charge you for whatever.
This now only makes it where if Comcast is putting, hey, we're going to charge you $20 extra to use Netflix full time or whatever the worst case scenario that everyone thinks is going to be, and then Verizon Fios goes, we're just going to charge you $100 to do internet and cable flat. Well, who the hell am I going to go to? The extra $20 for Netflix or the flat? Because, and assuming that you show the specs and it shows usually the same stuff, commerce is going to take over. Enterprise is going to take over. They need to compete. Look at remember when they used to do the unlimited data? When I first got my iPhone 4 back in 2010, it was unlimited data on AT&T.
I still got it.
It was great. And then when they got rid of it, I was Godfather until I was stupid and got rid of my phone. Came back and we were on the Sprint plan, the Verizon plan with my wife and all this other stuff. Well, then people started putting out unlimited data, and guess what happened? People started flocking to that because it's commerce took over.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, guess what? Everyone has an unlimited data plan, and most people are pushing towards it because it makes more money on both ends.
And actually, it will actually attract you to buy that new fucking phone that you don't need. And that's it. The technology will catch up with itself. Ever wonder why you got fucking phones that are always fucking updating about some stupid shit? It's because they're trying to get you to go to the upgraded fucking phone. And they've even said that there's been cases where they purposely fucking choked you on your fucking cell phone because people are now using their phones more than laptops or fucking desktops. You know what I mean? So for everything, I'm admittedly myself. Yeah, 2030, Disney buys the United States.
It's going to happen. The mouse is going to rule the world.
Yep, Sieg Mouse. But again, the way I fucking see it is that nobody again, and I'm sorry, nothing. I'm not saying nothing. Look, I'm not an actor, nor have I done any acting or have been participating in any type of Hollywood acting like stuff or been on television or anything like that. So I could not at all articulate what the hell actors go through and all that, because whatever. But stay in your fucking lane and not talking about the fucking webs like you invented the fucking net, like you were there with fucking Wozniak and fucking and Jobs and fucking Bill Gates, and they're all fucking talking in the garage about doing this fucking system, and then the next thing you know, they're like, whoa, see, net neutrality. Those motherfuckers are looking like, shut the fuck up, dude. It's like you're walking.
I'm so done with actors trying to tell me what I should feel, think, and do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Chris Evans. There's a lot of people I love, but then when it comes, and here's a great example. Who did every 99.999% of celebrities say to vote for during the election? Donald Trump. Not Donald. Hillary Clinton.
What? Yeah, Hillary Clinton.
Every single one,
yeah.
except like a couple.
Yeah.
And just a couple of them said, hey, and a lot of them are fucking crazy, the ones that said vote for Trump, but whatever. But everyone was saying, vote Hillary, vote Hillary. There's even a video that they're all like, where everyone does like a word or a sentence and they move on to the next person. They do this fucking flash thing. But it's always, everyone thinks they can tell us, who we should vote for, what we should do, what we should feel. Like, we're all stupid. It's like, hey, thank you, Chris Evans. You're right. I don't have a master's degree and have a decent level of competence and critical thinking that I can't do my own research and decide for myself. You know what? I'd be totally lost without you, Captain America, if you wouldn't have told me who to vote for, how to feel. Net neutrality is going to ruin the world, and the mouse is taking over everything. I never would have got that. Thank you so much for helping the poor, insignificant me, the guy with an actual career, the guy with the actual education, and the guy who's actually, has a brain in his head, not the one who has to only play a guy that has a brain on TV. Fuck off.
That was
Go
enhanced.
away.
That was enhanced. That was enhanced. Captain America was enhanced. You were a scoring little shit, Captain America, before you talking all that smack, and you were dope.
You just get punched in the face. You want it to happen again? Flash is coming.
Yeah, exactly. You got you took some dope, and the next thing you're Captain America. Whatever. You all that fucking performance enhancing bullshit you took in the 40s. But my biggest thing is that you're right. Everyone did say. Now I have I have 2 emails, and it was funny. I would bring it out, but it would reveal like my person like crazy because it's got people that are addressed to. I made a comment about the previous administration in uniform, right? And I emailed somebody some shit like that, and then I had said, unlike this fucking idiot in office right now, okay? I literally got replied all by everybody and their fucking mother on how I should not use contemptuous words against officials, even though it's not applicable to the NCOs. And I told everybody, yeah, okay, whatever. I said the same, and I copied it because I found the email and I was just going through it. And in March, I sent the same fucking email, the same, exactly. And I got told, right on, he's a fucking idiot. God damn it, you fucking blah, 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 blah. And then I replied all again with that same fucking email that I got busted for what I said for Obama. I mean, I had fucking high-ranking people telling me, oh, you shouldn't say that, use a professional, blah, 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 blah. All these smug motherfuckers coming out of the World War. Look, if you don't know what the fuck anything is happening with this type of shit, stay out of it. I still am waiting. Please, someone tell me without... If I hear anybody say Trump, if I hear anybody say Obama, if I hear anybody say Hillary, and if I hear well, you can say W because W is W. I'm not going to listen to it. I want to know the technical aspects. Hey, geekoids, fucking OPSEC monkey, and the cyber division of U.S. Army WTF moments. Please enlighten me on what is going on, because I'm tired of Katy Perry telling me and her glorious selves to what I should vote for and all that, when she can't even, like Jimmy Kimmel can't even articulate themselves on what it is. Literally, when you think about it, they're whining like little bitches. You know, it kind of reminds, it's kind of like, I'm surprised some of these big countries that are our adversaries haven't taken advantage of fucking invading us and Red Dawned us and shit due to the fact that who we have on our fucking oh my God. The image that we have now to everybody in the world is what? Well, according to American press, they listen to Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel is lead perpetrator of their... You know what I mean? The Russians will fucking already hack... They'll probably hacked us too. Already fucking looking at their shit. I mean, the people right there, that's why other countries just fucking defy us and shit. I don't know, North Korea, what the fuck you do? You gonna get Jimmy Kimmel after us? Oh, Rook, I'm gonna fucking launch another rocket. Same fucking shit. Articulate to me. Exactly, Baby Flash. Exactly.
Funny enough, I have Baby Flash here. Can you say net neutrality isn't a big deal? Can you say net neutrality isn't a big deal? Yeah, he tried.
That's adorable.
But see, I can do it too, Jimmy Kimmel. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
My kid's cuter too.
Exactly. Oh man, you better watch out, man. His little what was it, that leapfrog pad right there? Net neutrality. You won't be able to leapfrog or whatever. You see those little leapfrog things? They look like little iPads for kids. And, yeah. So, they got cameras on them, right?
Bring it on, yeah. Jimmy Kimmel. I'll knock his old fat ass out.
So, exactly, Al. I just listen to my brain. I have my own conversations. I have real conversations, too. That's right. Hey, we're going to take a break right quick. We have a Dan Thurs from TacticalReviews.com. Looking forward to see what he's got to talk about. And he's going to jump on here in a minute, but we're going to take a real quick break here, take a couple seconds, a few minutes to go refresh our drinks, go hit the head, and then, make sure that, everyone's tucked in, make sure everyone's asleep or cooking some chow or whatever, so that way you can get a real quick break. Going to take a few minutes off, and we'll be back in a sec.
Well, it definitely is all about the visuals, although pretty sure it's illegal.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
And we're back. WTFNationRadio.com's Monday edition with Ice Flash Mom. And we have our awesome guest from TacticalReviews.com, Dan Thurs. What's up, big man?
Hey, how's it going?
Dude, we've been kind of looking forward to your arrival. This is some good shit.
Well, yeah, I've been looking forward to getting here myself.
So tell us about yourself, man.
What's that?
Tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Dan. That's pretty clear. I've been kind of a Second Amendment advocate for quite some time, a firearms enthusiast for much of my life. I became disabled about 3 years ago, got a viral infection that won't go away. So I had to kind of change my focus from doing marches and things like that to kind of getting into more online stuff. And then eventually I kind of drifted into more of like doing reviews and promotions of tactical equipment. It's so difficult to get any type of advertising on the internet, Google, Bing, Yahoo. None of them will allow you to do any type of advertising for anything from a scope mount to a gun box. So I wanted to try to give back some of the organic reach that I have on my social groups to help out some of these other companies that are struggling to get going.
Oh well, we're all about tactical, man. Because if it's not tactical, you're not living. You know what I mean?
Oh heck yeah.
So you said you had can you talk about what happened to you, or you just that's for is that HIPAA?
I mean, I could talk about it. It's not a problem. About a little over 3 years ago, I just started getting sicker and sicker. I was always a very active person my whole life. Skydiving, mountain climbing, 28 years as a martial arts instructor, into the MMA kind of thing. I was heavy weapons fighter at Renaissance fairs, things like that, that kind of thing. Very active, running, swimming, all of that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I was a bodybuilder up until I was 49. My big goal was at 50 to compete in some competitions.
Nice.
And all of a sudden I started getting really sick and I wasn't recovering right. And I eventually had to leave work, thought I was having a heart attack. And after hundreds of tests over the years, I kept saying it seems like some kind of weird viral infection or an autoimmune problem, and none of the doctors had listened to me. And after a while, I did find a doctor who did listen to me, and it has been shown that I have the Epstein-Barr virus. My levels right now are like 750, and normal is anywhere from 0 to 21.9. So I'm way over what's normal, and that attacks your nervous system and makes you exhausted all the time and in constant pain and nauseous.
That means your body's always.
And that's where I am right now.
So you're tell us how'd you get started in the tactical reviews world? I mean, what kicked it off?
Well, like I said earlier, I've always been kind of a gun enthusiast from a younger kid. I kind of had a little bit of a lapse through some of my adulthood, and then it kind of took off again, and I built up my collection again, and I had tried to kind of get into the business, online stuff, and I found that it was just so hard. You can't advertise anywhere. Facebook blocks you. All the search engines block you, and it just wasn't worth it. And then when I started getting sick, it was just too much. The stress was making it worse, and I decided to just hang that all up. And I thought, you know what? I have all this organic reach from Twitter and Facebook and all of that, and all this experience online. Why don't I put it to some better use and help out the other people that, in ways that I wish I would have had when I was trying to get going.
Of course.
And I thought, well, I want to do tactical, I want to do reviews of equipment. And well, everybody and their brother does that. And it's hard to get a company to say, hey, you know what, we'll give you this product or whatnot, and you review it. Because like I said, everybody and their brother does it. And I thought, I could, go more into promotion, helping move these products, seeing how I don't sell them, I can get other companies to do it. And it's something for me to do. It does keep me occupied and make a little bit of income off of YouTube and stuff like that. But it's not about making the money. It's just about maintaining something that I love doing, which is dealing in tactical equipment, firearms, body armor, knives, camping, all of that kind of stuff that I enjoyed when I was in better health.
Now, and you aren't kidding. You have quite the following on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you're looking for him on YouTube, it's GT Tactical. over 6,000 subscribers on Twitter. You're rocking 26,000 followers. So you've got quite the following. And I know I've been following for a hot second. You did a review of this DS Arms FAL.
Yes.
That kind of got me all intrigued about maybe not getting AR and trying something different. So it's really cool what you do.
Yeah, well, that FAL, that's from the DS Arms, as you had mentioned. That would be more along the lines of like an AR-10. That's a 308, a 308 cartridge instead of a 5.56 like an AR-15. It is built like a tank. A fantastic weapon. I am looking forward to getting to the range to actually do some shooting, but because of my health, I haven't been able to make it there. I think I had mentioned earlier to the woman I was speaking to that I'm going in on Wednesday for surgery. That will be my third one in 5 months.
Oh, wow.
So it's been kind of difficult for me to actually get to the range, and I'm really looking forward to trying that out. But like I said, it's built like a tank. It does have some weight to it, something like 10 pounds or something like that, but it's just a solid, well-built weapon.
So you don't just review guns. I'm looking on YouTube. You're reviewing a survival coffee grinder, flashlight.
Yep.
You cover the whole tactical spectrum.
Yeah, pretty much anything that would deal with the tactical field, shooting sports, camping, hiking, survival, prepping, pretty much that whole spectrum. Because, like I had mentioned, everybody and their brother, they want to review guns, and everybody reviews guns. And it's not just what I want to do. I want to show people where you can get a gun, and how you clean this gun, and how you use this gun and what it can be used for, and things like that. In addition to adding in hunting gear or camping gear, because people with guns like that, they're going to go out and do some hunting, or they're going to do some competition type shooting.
Now, I was about to say, do you cover on GT Tactical? Do you cover those type of events? Do you go, or do you send somebody out?
I have been. I think if you go back a few pages on the YouTube channel, there's some of us shooting in some of the competitions for like the Sheboygan Rifle Pistol Club, Ripon, Green Bay, things like that. It's typically pistol type action shooting, USPSA style, some steel target shooting. There's some two-gun shooting where it's switching between ARs and handguns. And there are a couple of the guys that do work with me. They're much younger and much better health than I am. And I can send them out to do a lot of this stuff as well.
I was about to say, make the youngins go out there and break their backs on it, man.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I can't do it because I can't move very fast. I'm too old and too broken to do it.
I'm old with you, brother.
That's what young kids are for.
Exactly. Yeah, well, I mean, tactical is universal, but the youngins can go out there and do that stuff. And besides, it's always good to looking at your videos. It's you have a serious passion, man. You have the I like when you're talking to individuals and you have people you're talking to. You literally are. You're like the old mentor coach. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I wish somebody had. I wish you've made the audience more comfortable with handling tactical gears. Well, it seems like to you it's so. I don't know. It just is. I don't know. Play it off. I always end up having, because I'm still in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a tendency to make Joes nervous when I'm going off on them about weapons handling because. But you're like, so you're are you sure you're sick? Because you sound like you're like just pretty tranquil.
Yeah. Yeah. I do try to talk to people just like I would talk to any person to make them feel comfortable. I've trained literally hundreds of people how to shoot various guns. There's a video on there somewhere. My 17-year-old son is shooting my 500 Magnum. First time ever picking up a gun that big.
Nice.
And he shot all the way up to the 700 grain full charge. These are the ones that you see on YouTube where they're, the gun's flying through the air and hitting people in the face and all that. My son's like, boom, and he shot. It's like no big deal. The kid's like 6'2", and about 3 inches thick. He's a beanpole. And he had
I'm looking at that video right now, and
Are you?
Yeah, I'm watching it right now too.
You are built like a stone wall. You are like huge.
Yeah.
But your son is your son does make me like wish I was that smaller. Man, and I'm literally watching the video right now. He's got that giant magnum in his hands.
Yep. Yeah,
I say he did good. Look good.
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
It's a good shot.
Yeah, he loves shooting the big guns. He shoots my Desert Eagle. He shoots the Beowulf. Nothing scares him. And the kid's a really good shot.
Hey, so tell us about. I was looking through your videos here. What happened with this Trump Secret Service stop? What happened with that?
Oh, the Trump Secret Service stuff. That's the one where I had gone to one of the Trump rallies before the election. I think that was in West Dallas. And when we got there, it was at a school. So, and I'm with a couple of guys. We're all avid carriers who carry all the time. And we took our guns up, put them in the safe in the car, locked them, and off we went. Never giving any thought to the holsters or anything like that. We put the guns away. We did what we were supposed to do. My cane, I need a cane to walk around because I'm in so much pain. It just happens to be kind of shaped like an AR-15, maybe a little bit. Okay, it's shaped a lot like an AR-15.
I was about to say kind of.
Put it that way.
Kind of.
and the one Secret Service guy, he comes out and he's talking and he saw me and he just froze. And he's just like, you need that to walk? I'm like, yeah. And he went in, he talked, and they came back and they talked to me even before I got in, and they said, we understand you need that to walk around and things like that. It is a cane, but we're afraid that some of the real close Secret Service guys to Mr. Trump might be a little nervous with that. I said, oh, all right, I'll have my buddy take it back to the car. No problems whatsoever.
Yeah,
and, then we went in, and then the security there, they saw the holsters, and, oh, no, I can't be there. I'm like, it's an empty holster.
Yeah, it's a holster.
Yeah, and so my buddy had to make a second trip back to the car to drop mine and his holster off at the car. So, I mean, it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. It was the only one that I had gone into, or maybe I went into one other one. I went to like 6 or 7 of the Trump rallies, and I went to one of the Sanders rallies. And there was one where the service came over and talked to me at the Bernie Sanders one as well.
Yeah, I saw that video of that too.
Yeah,
they're actually pretty nice.
Got like over 1 million views on it. That one really took off.
But that actually was a nice conversation. There was nothing.
Yeah.
No drama. Nobody was saying anything bad. Everyone was pretty. It was just kind of like just asking questions. Normal questions that of course a Leo would ask you anyways.
Yeah, and that was kind of the point that I was trying to make there. I wasn't. You can have an encounter like that and not have your rights trampled and be polite the whole time. And nobody, they walked up, said, hey, how's it going? Said hi and started talking and answered a few questions that I felt weren't very threatening or anything like that. And we went on our way, and I talked to them a couple of times after that encounter. And in fact, I even saw the one guy that was kind of holding back a little bit. I ran into him at the Trump rally.
Correct.
Where they asked me to put my cane away.
Yeah.
And he was a very nice guy. Talked to him for a while. They all were. And there's no reason to be like some of the people online and just looking for that, poking the bear kind of thing and trying to get somebody to have a reaction. There's no reason for it.
Okay, the video.
What'd you find out?
No, the video that because I was every time before a guest comes on, I'll grab some. I'll grab some information and some material and check them out. I didn't notice the video. What happens when you take a liberal to the gun range? I just saw that just now.
I love that one. That's actually Tony, and Tony was supposed to be here tonight. I guess he couldn't make it. He's actually the guy that was with me at the Trump rally with the whole walking stick thing. And that was actually a setup spoof for the Gersh Kunstman.
Yeah.
And there was actually a whole video that leading up to the whole thing. And I thought, you know, I'm just going to trim this little piece off the video and see how that does. And that one just kind of took off pretty good. I think this had like almost 60,000 views or something on it. And it was just hilarious because he's like, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, kind of get dressed up nice like a reporter. I got an idea. And he gets there, I hand him a water bottle, and I say, spray this on your crotch when I shoot this gun. And he's like, what? I go, yeah, make it look like you peed your pants. And it was, I'm like trying to not bust out laughing. And there's other people on the range that, you know, they're not with us. And they're looking at us like, what the heck's going on over there? And everybody else behind the cameras, they got their hands over their mouth and they're trying not to laugh.
Oh my God.
Out loud.
Until you told me that was a skit, I was like, oh my God.
I had a blast on that one.
I posted that in the guys. I posted that in the Facebook Live comments, so you'll see it posted right there. What happens when you take a liberal to the gun range? No, I posted it in the Facebook Live comments. You know, and I was going to ask you a question. Do you think now this is just a question because I'm an adamant supporter of the Second Amendment myself. Yes. And what I don't like is I don't like getting approached when I carry. And then it's almost like there's people out there that really want you to feel guilty about open carry. And
yeah,
does that
I get that a lot. I don't know if you caught or saw what happened on November 4th. You remember the whole Antifa Rises Up?
Yeah, the great
ordeal.
Yeah, the great. That was the iPhone 10 release. Yeah, that's why they didn't do it.
And I had been ripping on them the whole week leading up to that. And I posted a picture of my AR-15 sitting in my Jeep, and I said, I'm ready to go, guys. How about you? I got 1.1 million interactions on Twitter alone for that post. And I got visited by the police on Monday the 6th.
Oh, wow.
Because somebody called the Milwaukee PD and said, this guy is threatening to go out and kill people. And there was nothing of the sort in the post, not anything even alluding to that. In fact, I'd posted that same picture probably half a dozen times. It was a 2-year-old picture I posted up every now and then just because it's a nice picture. And I ended up going to the police station, and I did this on my own. I went and I talked to the police chief about what had happened, and apparently somebody called the Milwaukee PD because it said Wisconsin on my Twitter profile and said this guy's going to is threatening to shoot people. In Milwaukee, they didn't know anything. They were able to figure out Dan in Sheboygan, and that was the only information he got. So they sent it to the Sheboygan PD, and that's all the information he had. That and a picture of my tattoo on my arm. And they went through criminal records and they found somebody with the same tattoo. Went and paid him a visit. It was the wrong guy.
Man.
And after about 3 days, then it was Monday evening, I got the phone call. And my sister-in-law works at the Sheboygan Police Department. And she comes walking in Monday morning, and they had a printout of my picture sitting there on the desk because they didn't know what to do. She's like, oh, that's my brother-in-law, Dan. That's how they ID'd me. So then they came and they talked. They said, I didn't have a problem with it. We need to make a contact when somebody calls in. We know it's ridiculous, but need to make a call. Stop in and say hi. And I'm like, hey, I got no problem with that. Took a nice picture with the officer. He laughed. He wanted to see my cane, and he had a blast because he was going over my Twitter page too and my YouTube page, and that was they knew I was from the area because I've been using that cane for 2 years. Everybody in the Sheboygan area knows me, even though I don't live in the Sheboygan area anymore. But they're like, I know this guy, I just can't figure out who he is. So it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I get that all the time. People threatening me. I've had multiple death threats.
Yeah.
And you know, insults. Oh, you're the reason why people die and why kids are shot up and the schools are shot up. It's like, how am I the reason?
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is that I mean, well, not a question, but it's going to be my next follow up to that. I really hate that a group that says they are so tolerant that they are intolerant about that, and I'm thinking, open carry is open carry. If it's legal in the state to which you live, then it's your right to carry it. It should be open carry should be, all 50 states anyways. It doesn't matter.
I agree.
So
it should be constitutional carry and cross-state recognizing of a permit.
Correct.
Our rights don't stop at a state line.
Correct. Now, do you think there's some people that just kind of go overboard on it and make guys like us stupid? That might make us look stupid. I mean, there's guys.
Well,
I know in those kind of groups, people get pissed off when you say, "Ice, don't say that." I'm like, "What? You're making it sound like you don't support it." I'm like, "I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's just some guys that don't know when to shut up." You know what I mean?
Well, I'll agree. There are some people that really like to push the envelope. They're trying to go for that shock jock kind of thing for their Facebook videos or whatnot. And if that's what they want to do, that is their choice. Does it make me look bad? I don't think it makes me look bad. How another person sees me is their problem. It's not my problem. How another person sees you isn't my problem. That's, you're the one that has to worry about how another person sees you.
Of course.
Yeah, there are some people that I think push things too far and go past the law. There's no such thing as pushing the law. You're either in the law or you're out of the law.
Exactly.
And if I want to slap an AR-15 or if I want to slap a 50 Barrett to my back and walk down the street, then so be it. I should be able to do that. Why I would want to do that is I couldn't tell you why anyone would want to do that, but I can't speak for what each person wants. Me saying that you can't slap an AR to your back and walk down the street is no different than another person saying that I can't carry a handgun open while I walk down the street, or another person saying you can't carry a concealed weapon.
Correct.
Because you don't like it. You either accept it or you don't accept it.
Correct.
You either break the law or you don't break the law.
Well, I mean, being that, I'm part of Team Old, just like you, I'm not carrying no Barrett. I carried one on a downrange, and that son of a bitch is heavy.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And there's no smooth edges on that thing. It's all pointing and angled, and it hurts. When I had it on my back, just to say, hey, look, I got a Barrett on my back. It hurt. I'm like, get this thing off of me.
I don't want to carry an AR around. I have no practical purpose of doing it outside of the range, or to or from my truck to go to the range. And I have carried ARs on my back, and I don't like them. There's always something jabbing me on. It's like, man, they got things sticking out all over the place on them things.
Exactly.
And I can't stand that.
And I'm shape rounded, so they hurt.
You kind of got that pressure spot there, don't you?
Exactly. I don't like that stuff going on to me. Now there's been a big debate right now within the military community about being able to carry on base. Have you been following that?
I've been kind of watching it on and off. I know I've heard of several of the on-base shootings, like the naval base. I was over on the East Coast where the guy came in and he was with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And then the guy down in Texas in Fort Hood came in, and I don't understand the reason why a person who is trained to go into a combat situation and make split-second decisions isn't trusted enough to carry around just a small arm, a handgun. It does, you're not talking about people walking around with ARs. You're talking about somebody walking around with a Colt 45 or a Glock 26 or whatever it is that they choose to carry. They should be able to do that. I think the military is well trained, and I think that kind of flies in the face of their training.
It does. And that's another thing too. When I first joined the military, a few decades back, and you had to get pay, you reported to a pay officer who had a sergeant first class standing behind him with a Colt 45 on his belt. So that way the cash didn't get stolen, because that pay officer had that that big NCO with him. He was either going to beat your ass, or he was gonna shoot you. And you're right. I don't understand how it doesn't translate to the same thing when it comes to we are already authorized to carry weapons into a combat zone, and B, we are trained enough to use them. It's just kind of frustrating.
Yeah, just the whole gun-free zone thing. It really bugs me.
Oh my God, exactly.
I mean, in some cases, I'm all for it. Prisons, courtrooms, you've got some pretty high emotional states in a courtroom, and in a divorce court or something like that, or child custody.
Oh, I heard that.
You certainly don't want somebody with a firearm in a situation like that.
No, there would be a lot of dead
But at
ex-wives.
places like walking into the clinic, I wanted to visit my dad when he had a heart attack, and I had to take my gun off to go up to the ICU to see him. And every time that a person handles a firearm, no matter how little that handling is, you're risking a negligent discharge on it, or some type of accident. I hate handling my everyday carry weapon, and I got to go to the clinic or the hospital. Obviously, I go to the hospital quite a bit, so I have to take my gun off when I go there. Now my gun is in the truck, and it's vulnerable. It's in a locked safe, but still, if they're going to break into my truck, they're going to do something to rip my safe out of the truck or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And now I've lost the gun. And same thing with school grounds, not carrying within 1,000 feet of a school. What the heck is that? I live right next to a grade school. In Wisconsin, to legally carry within 1,000 feet of a school, you have to have a concealed carry permit, even though open carry is legal in Wisconsin. And even with my concealed carry, they messed up on the law. When I was driving onto school grounds to pick up my kids after school, I would have to stop off of school grounds, leave my vehicle, remove the gun from my holster, remove the magazine from the gun, remove the round out of the chamber, lock it into a box, go on school grounds, pick up my kid, come back off, and then reverse the process and get back in my vehicle. So I'm like across the street from a school in the open, and I'm handling a firearm.
Oh man!
Do you see any issues here?
Yeah. I mean, God, yeah, that's another thing.
But that was to keep me from becoming a felon.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's
ridiculous.
It is. I'm glad you brought that up too, because a lot of the gun-free zones are usually, or a lot of states that have a restrictive gun ordinances or gun laws, they are the ones that suffer the greater. They're the ones that have the most incidences of that type of events happening, a school shooting or something like that. I mean, we go back and forth with on the state every time there's something going on and people want to kind of trample on the Second Amendment rights. We always bring it up that it's always look at Chicago. The Chicago's talking about bringing in UN troops to secure it.
Oh, for crying out loud. I got no problems doing what needs to be done to get the criminal element off. The UN troops, I think, might be a little too much.
Yeah. Could you imagine a foreign military being on this country?
Exactly. I believe that there are treaties involved that will prevent that from happening. I think it's just saber rattling on their part, because they will not these people that enforce this kind of thing, they will not ever admit that the problem is the restrictive gun laws. To do so means that they're going to have to take credit for all of the death that happened. They are going to have to take the responsibility that blood is actually on their hands.
Correct.
And they can't blame legal gun owners and NRA and things like that. They have to go, hey, you know what? We caused all of these deaths. Our laws caused all of these deaths. These gun-free zones, these restrictive gun laws are all to blame. And they will never, ever do that. They will whistle a happy song to the fires of hell, and they will never admit it.
Oh, of course not. They won't admit. Well, it's their political agenda, anyways, when it comes to that.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. That if people were to look at history, I always bring up the word democide, and I'm saddened by how few people know what that word means. They're like, well, I don't know what that means. It probably means something with Democrats. but in a nutshell, democide is death by government. Over 260 million people died in the 20th century alone because of their government. You're talking Jews and the Gypsies in World War II, the Soviets in China, the Far East, all these different countries where the government has taken total control of all of the power, and the people are like, yeah, we've got this utopia because there's no more guns, so it's going to be no crime. Well, the government is in control, and they go, you know what? These people are the problem, and they kill them. 260 million people, that's more than died in all the wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a huge number.
And we're talking about inviting foreign troops onto our own homeland to police up something that, had the policies or regulations or regulatory statutes been lifted in the city of Chicago, then this wouldn't be an issue. Yeah,
exactly.
It's frustrating as hell to see, and also because when you're growing up, Chicago was one of those glamour cities that everybody wanted. It was either New York or Chicago, or Kansas City or St. Louis. Those were the cities in America that that typified the American city.
Yeah. I went to Chicago. It was quite a few years ago, and we were there for a convention. I was sitting out on the front steps of the convention center there, and we were eating lunch, and there was 2 officers there, Chicago officers. And I glanced down and I said, "You got another gun in your ankle. You had an ankle holster." And I said, "What's that about?" He says, "That's for when I run out of bullets in my regular gun." And I'm like,
dude,
I'm gonna go eat inside.
Yeah,
now.
Exactly. What do you mean? Exactly. That's when you run out of this guy. What are you talking about? What are we talking about? You know something I don't? Exactly. Don't go to that taco truck.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. It's like, oh my God. I mean, he was a nice guy and all, but just the way he said it, I'm like, I'm gonna go eat inside now.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to go out here anymore. And I've had no interest to go to Chicago. It's bad enough going to some of the areas of Milwaukee, and Milwaukee's kind of like a little Chicago in many ways. You've got similar problems in LA.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
you've got shootings going on there all the time, and it's like, well, we need more gun restrictions. It's like, what do they say about a person who does the same thing over and over, expecting a different result?
That's called insanity.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they're doing in California.
Yep. Oh, don't get me started in California.
They're crazy, how they defined an assault weapon.
Yeah.
Is anything with a removable magazine that does not go through the pistol grip and has a threaded barrel, or a pistol grip or thumbhole stock, or an adjustable buttstock. And I'm thinking to myself, what do any of those have to do with the function of the weapon?
Exactly. As a matter of fact, I want to see what that weapon would look like. What would a California weapon look like to that standard? It would look like
it is hideous. They actually have where they mount to where the pistol grip goes, and it comes up like a regular stock and then goes to a shoulder stock, so you can wrap your hand around it. It's no longer a pistol grip, and it's just ugly. And they get around it by not having the magazine drop by pushing the mag drop button. You actually have to split the upper and lower to separate the magazine. Once you do that, then you can have the other stuff, because it says in the law a removable magazine and a threaded stock or a threaded barrel or a pistol grip or an adjustable stock or a thumb hole stock. So it has to have the removable magazine and one of the other things. So they got around it in California by making that bullet button, where you have to separate the upper and lower to drop the magazine.
Yeah, that's
and I have a Patriot pin set up here on my red, white, and blue We the People AR. There's a video on my YouTube channel of that as well, and it's a button that you can hit on your takedown pin, and you hit that, and the weapon flips open, and then now you can drop your magazine and slap it shut, and it takes like 2 seconds.
Whoa, you gotta be careful. Be careful.
Yeah.
Don't be blasting that out.
Yeah, exactly. And with a little bit of practice, I'll bet you could do that in a second.
Yeah,
I mean,
speed load,
it's super fast.
So
basically, their laws are pointless again.
Exactly. So what? Okay, so what do I need to do? Say I want you to review some of my tactical gear. Like I want to review. Like I have a weapon, I have a rifle that I'm making, I'm building, and I want you to I want somebody like you to review it. What's the process? How would I go about doing it?
Well, first they contact me. Most of the time it's on Twitter. That is my main platform. I do a little bit on some of the other ones as well, and I do have the web page. I believe you have that on there as well on your site as well.
Yep.
There's actually a form there that you can fill out to get more information about it. Basically what we say is, because I'm nonprofit, I don't sell products and I don't make money at this. I say, you send me what it is that you want me to review, be it a firearm, be it a knife or a coffee grinder, whatever the case may be, you send it to me, and then I will go through the process of promoting that product. I always start off with just a few pictures, and I'll make posts, and sometimes pictures do better than videos, and then I'll do a video or 2 or 3 or 5. It depends upon whatever the product might be. A gun is going to have a lot more videos involved, and in those videos there's mentions of the company. I'll have their URL in the video. There's hyperlinks in the description. And when I do posts on Twitter and things like that, I'll do mentions of, like, somebody's like, I really want a FAL or something like that. I like to check them out. I'll go, well, you need to check out DS Arms, and I'll tag in DS Arms. And so it's this constant, I'm providing this constant flow of traffic to these companies that they would not normally get, because, I've got, like I said, over 26,000 followers on Twitter. And as far as Twitter goes, I watch it very close. It's not full of bots. I actually use some of them software apps that go through and trim that off all the time. So that's all actual users. And then people share, and sometimes things go viral. And that's all a big plus for these companies. Some companies might pay $1,000 for a couple of ads, and then they're done. Send $1,000 gun, and I put up a video or 3, and that link is there for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's constantly there, and it's constantly being brought back up. I keep cycling them through. But I mean, I do want to point out that's not the only thing I do on my Twitter page. Actually, my Twitter page is all about fun. Poking fun of the anti-gun people, poking fun of the Antifa, and ripping on the stupid gun sense laws and things like that. And then I throw in the reviews and things like that, because Who the heck wants to sit on a Twitter page all day and just see reviews? That's boring.
Yeah, exactly.
So I might put 20 posts up, and I might throw in a review or something like that, and then all the time, whenever there's a long thread going on, I throw in mentions all the time. One I keep tossing in every now and then is for gunsticles. They're testicles for your gun. And every time somebody talks, dumb, I'll put this. I got this little 30-second video where a Glock comes out with a pair of balls hanging, and it kind of jiggles a little bit, and then it backs off the screen again, and that goes right to their page. So it was a $25 box that they sent me, and it's been 8 months that they're still getting mileage off of that silly little investment that they made, and I do that with all kinds of products because I'm talking to people all the time, and the people that are on my pages are exactly the target audience that they're looking for.
Now, when you get okay, so say I'm a weapons manufacturer and I want to provide you an AR or whatever a shotgun, something that I built myself that I want to get.
Yep.
Do you put it through its field test? Do you have it hey, I want you to is it client specific? They'll ask you, hey, just do a normal test or do or beat it up. I mean, do you do those types of tests? What does your testing processes go?
I pretty much leave it up to the company, the manufacturer. If they say, look, I want a torture test on it, it's going to get a torture test. If they just want an educational video, I'll make an educational video. How to put this on, how to do this or that. I try to leave it up to the manufacturer to let me know. If they say, you know what, do whatever you want, I'm going to do whatever I want. One company, they sent me a bunch of this I don't want to say remanufactured, maybe it is remanufactured Kevlar body armor. And they said, give it a torture test. So I hit it with a 500 Magnum with a 700 grain round.
Wow.
With a maximum charge. I don't know if you watched my videos right to the end where I got that little part at the end. It's like 15 or 20 second end of all of my videos, where I'm kind of crouched down. That's actually that piece of armor that I shot. I went from a crouch to a stand when I shot this gun. It had that much impact on me, and I almost fell down. I've never been knocked down by a gun that I shot.
Wow.
That was the closest I ever came. It did not penetrate that armor, but it did bust the 2x6s that were behind it.
Oh, man.
It pushed it in probably 2 inches, and there was 1/10 of a pound of lead is what was shot out of that gun in one round. That's 700 grains. And I would not want to get hit by that.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. Exactly. I mean, if you're wearing the vest,
it was impressive to watch.
Now, do you get to after you put these products through their field test? Do those manufacturers let you keep them? I mean, do they let you say, hey, look, appreciate it, thank you for doing it, and all this other stuff, and then that's it? Do they let you keep it, or?
Yeah. I usually say the product becomes mine. That's. Oh. I guess you could say my payment for doing this for you. If they send me a body armor and I do a test and a video and I give them all this advertising, I send them back the body armor. Well, that's a whole lot of work for me, and they're getting a whole lot of benefit. What's in it for me? Not that I'm looking for anything, but what I'm doing is I'm kind of building up a pile of stuff, I guess you could say, and I do giveaways from time to time, and I'll throw a bunch of the stuff that I got into a giveaway, and goes for a month or whatever, and excuse me, and then give that away to whoever wins. So
oh wow!
I'm not just looking to get free stuff.
No, I understand. Well, you're actually
yeah.
testing them. I mean, it's not like you're not bullshitting them. You're testing them. They send it to you. You put them through their paces and all that. So, I mean, that would be that's a good price in itself already. I mean, especially since a lot of these companies put a lot more money into, like you said, in advertising and marketing for it, and testing it themselves. And you're giving I guess you would say, the average Joe test.
Yeah, exactly.
Now
there was one place, PT Sports, nice little place. I did a video for them. They make like Second Amendment inspired artwork, I guess you could say, clocks with bullets on it, nice little crosses made out of 223s, bottle openers made out of old shells and things like that. And he sent me a couple of things, and I made him a video, and he got a ton of traffic out of it. And it was just a couple of little items that he makes, and it works out great for him. And I'm happy that's exactly what it is that I want. I want these people to succeed. I didn't have that when I was trying to do it. At one point, I was paying Google between $700 and $1,000 a week for advertising.
Jesus.
I was making money back. I was selling bump stocks at the time. And they were going like hotcakes. This was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And then they blocked me because you can't sell anything even remotely firearm related. And I said, look, I'm paying you guys $1,000 a week. I said, I'll even go higher than that. No, wanted nothing to do with it. And I'm like, wow, that $1,000 a week is a lot of money. I mean, I was making more than that back, but how can a company just give up $52,000 to $100,000 a year in advertising?
Hey, brother, that's that agenda that we were talking about. You know what I mean? That's the agenda they're pushing.
They don't care.
I bet
it was the same thing with Facebook.
Yeah.
I was selling this little keychain. It had a gun, a Sig Sauer gun on it. And it was just a keychain. And they kept blocking my ad. And I was paying a fair amount to them. I want to say I was about $700 a month that I was giving to Facebook for advertising. And they finally canceled my advertising account. And I said, well, why? I said, it's a keychain. Well, you have a person can buy a knife from a different place on that site that keychain was on. But I'm not selling knives. Yeah, well, there's knives on that site, and somebody could go there and buy it. And I'm like, so you're canceling my advertising account because of something else that's on the site that I'm not even selling? I said, yeah. I said, well, what about Amazon? Well, Amazon is fine. Amazon sells knives. Well, it doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like, really? Okay, I guess you guys don't want my money. And from that point on, it's like, none of you guys are getting a penny of my money. That was pretty much where my mission started. It's like, you know what? I'm going to do everything I can.
Yeah.
to make sure you're not going to get any.
Exactly. And guess what? We also have you right now on Facebook Live. You're being broadcasted to about 1 million followers right now, Dan. So,
hey, all right. Hey, guys. How's it going? I actually waved. What an idiot I
am. Well, hey, Dan. Hey, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you coming on, Dan from tacticalreviews.com.
Yep.
Also on, so the page that your YouTube page is GT Tactical, right? That's your
Tactical Reviews. I want to think here. Tactical Reviews.
Yeah,
they should be able to find me under just Tactical Reviews on YouTube.
Okay.
It was GT Tactical, and I think I just kind of got both of the names on there right now, you could probably find me.
You do.
Otherwise, on Twitter, or even right off my webpage at tactical-reviews.com. And then I have links to my social pages right off of there.
Okay, real quick. Somebody asked, "What's your accent?" Everyone sent me a message. Where's your accent from?
My accent, I'm from Sheboygan, which is Wisconsin. The accent has been described as talking with a mouthful of mashed potatoes.
Sheboygan. I just like saying that. I just
Sheboygan.
like Sheboygan. I just like saying that word. Sheboygan.
Sheboygan. There are a bunch of Germans around here.
Sheboygan, genau. All right. Well, hey, Dan, thanks for coming on. We really totally appreciate you coming on the show, man.
You're awesome, man.
Yeah,
it was great. It was great being here.
All right, man.
I hope to join you guys again sometime. Just
of course.
let me know.
Of course, man. Definitely. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
All
We'll
right.
see you.
Yep. Have a good one.
Yeah.
All right. That was Dan Thurs from TacticalReviews.com. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We're at the top of the hour now. And then we'll be rocking it back with the third segment of WTFNationRadio.com's.
Number 3.
Oh, man. Number 3. Wait. Are we on number 3? Wait, am I?
Third.
Yeah, this is the third segment.
Third is
dude,
3.
I'm losing it, dude. Yeah, third segment.
Don't forget, at tactical_review. That's his Twitter handle. Check him out.
Yeah.
Got this great picture of this AR-15 that looks like a blaster from Star Wars.
It does. It does.
Awesome.
I was just about to say. It was just, don't you know? Exactly. Sheboygan.
Don't you know?
Don't you know? So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll be back on third segment on WTFNationRadio.com, the Monday edition. So, shots.
Shouts.
Well, it definitely is all about the visuals, although pretty sure it's illegal.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Hungry for another taste. You stumble around the time you waste, and your table's overturned. Sooner or later, you crash, then you burn. I think I wanna die tomorrow. Are you gonna be with me? I think I wanna die tomorrow, 'cause I'm out of time and I'm out of my mind. The simple ways come and go. Still I love the way you
that actually a picture of the Antichrist crying? I like it. It's tasty.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Good evening, boys and girls. This is Tim Kennedy. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Ranger qualified Green Beret, a UFC fighter. Please listen to us and the shenanigans that we're going to say. We will insult you. There will be racial slurs. We will be sexist. We will offend you. But there will be magic, and a unicorn will be raped. So enjoy the show. Thank you for listening on WTF Nation Radio.
Gotta rip them unicorns. And we're back. Third segment. God, for some reason.
From outer space. Sorry, I can't help. Every time somebody says we're back or I'm back or something, that song pops in my head. It's a disease. The VA covers it.
Well, no, actually they don't. Depends on what you're talking about that they're covering. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't cover it. So
that's true.
I mean, is it service connected or not?
So are you missing 2 limbs? Nah, we're not going to cover that.
We're not going to cover that
percentage.
Yeah, but that was blown off in an IED. Where were you? Where was this IED?
Fine, we'll give you a percentage and a half. Go away.
They'd be like, where was this IED? Where other IEDs go to lie, either Afghanistan or Iraq. Yeah, we had to have
Chicago.
We had to have proof that you deployed to Iraq. I have no legs. Poor fuckers, man. Yeah, what an interesting guest. That's awesome. We have not done I don't think we've ever done on the Monday edition any Second Amendment or that type of tactical stuff before. I love it.
It's pretty cool. He's got a lot in he was saying, he does a lot more than just guns, body armor, survival stuff. It was actually pretty cool seeing, listening to the coffee grinder. I would have loved to have that when I was with First Cav when we were out everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff he's got on there, it covers all that. I wonder if
PAO needs coffee.
I think any average American male soldier needs coffee, dude. That's just a given. Yeah, you do need coffee because when I ping you and to wake you up in the middle of the night to ask you some crazy questions, then yeah. I like your auto reply. I can't come to the phone right now, but if you leave a message at the beat. Yep.
That's code for leave me the fuck alone.
He was about to say. Yeah, so check it out at tacticalreviews.com. Like I said, we have his page tagged up on there. And again, we thank Dan Thurs for coming back on here. Looking forward for him to come back. Yeah, he was talking
and thank Dan because he's been spreading the love of WTF Nation Radio, and that we've been getting a whole bunch more followers on Twitter from that. So we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, we totally.
That's called mutual help and admiration.
Exactly.
It works both ways, everybody.
Well, no, I was about to say that too, is that we weren't, I was just looking over his, because I was mostly looking at his YouTube videos, but I was also looking at all of his presents. Dude, he had a calendar reminder. He had invites from people and all that. I'm like, wow. So he was just as pumped as we were. So that's good shit.
And best of luck on your surgery. That sucked.
Yeah, I was about to say, man. Hey, all of our best to you. Danny. But just make sure. I tell you what, we need to make sure you're good to go. Hit us up, hit the front office, and let Amy know that you're good to go. So that way we can, make sure.
I wonder if he types in that accent.
Sheboygan.
That Sheboygan accent.
That Sheboygan. That sounds like a That sounds like something you do like on the 4th, 5th date. Hey, so how'd that date go with that chick? Oh man, dude, we Sheboyganed. You know what I mean?
We Sheboyganed really hard.
Oh, hard, dude. We were so drunk. I don't remember, dude. You Sheboygan her? God, bro. Oh man, really? Yeah. Hey, baby, you want to go?
And that creepy old man voice.
Yeah. Hey, baby, you wanna go Sheboygan?
And my dad's Toyota.
Yeah, exactly. My dad's Toyota. Yeah, so that accent, unreal. Never heard of an accent like that before. It's very
Well, now you have.
Yeah, that's like I said, it's awesome. And no, it's good because you get to understand. I mean, again, I was thinking. I didn't want to offend them by saying, is that Canadian and all that? But that's why I just said, hey, there are some people that are asking in that.
Are you saying that a Canadian accent can offend people?
How's a boot? You know what I mean?
Dude, did you see the videos? He is a big son of a bitch.
Dude, he's
too.
a big dude. Yeah, he's
like he doesn't need to carry around a gun. He'd beat the shit out of somebody.
Exactly. I just can't believe that he's walking around with a freaking AR cane. I want one. Where's mine? I would
Goals.
love. Yeah, exactly. I would love
Hashtag adulting.
Yeah, when I retire and I'm walking around with a cane, I want an AR cane. That would be, yeah, exactly. That would be interesting. Let me get an update real quick. What do we know anything? What's going on? Has the news talked any more about the derailment that's happened?
Nothing new that I've seen. It's still the same where there's still more people in the hospital. I think still it's saying over 100 people in the hospital now, but no new details, nothing on why or how. And that's honestly after after the stats come in on who's got hurt and all that stuff. What I look forward to, and I say look forward to, and not in the I look forward for Star Wars, but I look forward to is the what happened, because already they're throwing out some red flags like that one system that the automated system that's supposed to help them not crash.
Correct.
Apparently wasn't activated, so already there was some big problems. But there is this article. It's called "The Questions Investigators Will Be Asking After Amtrak Derailment." A couple of them: the speed of the train, the black box. Just like planes, trains have black boxes. They'll be able to tell everything. The mechanics of the train, the NTSB team. That's the inspectors will look very closely at the track. Was there something wrong with the track? The mechanics on the train, was it working properly? Human performance, because a lot of times it is a human error. So they do have some. They actually on this article they do actually have some of the dialogue going back and forth between the dispatcher and the conductor, and they're also going to be looking at the conditions of the track. So there's a lot of factors that go into this, and it's probably not just one thing. It's probably not just human error. It's probably not just going too fast. It's 90% of the time it's a combination of things that's happening. So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and hopefully, as they like to say, hopefully the responsible are hung up to dry, because it was a series of human errors, and that's including, should we have not gone on this track? Who approved it? Why was this approved early? Was something not done? Did somebody not inspect it? Did the conductor just go off the rails because he was speeding?
Well, see, that was the next question too. Is that this track was not or was used? That's the. In other words, was it used for a previous line as opposed to it being used?
It was used for military. It was used for this particular track before it was. I guess they had done some work to it to add this train. Was used to move military equipment and for freight. So, tanks and stuff like that, we move them out of Fort Hood down to Galveston and stuff like that. That's the kind of train tracks these were, but they made it to a passenger train, as DMAX said, that shave off 10, 15 minutes off the commute.
Yeah.
And then this happened. A report saying that the train was going 80 miles per hour. Now, I do ride a train in Virginia up to D.C., and I know for a fact it ain't going 80 miles per hour. So that's pretty fast for an Amtrak train, but I'll say I haven't been on that many Amtrak trains, so maybe going through there 80 to me seems like a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially through the area where it was at, because if you look at where the trestle was at, it looked like it was near
a populated area.
They would not be like
usually that. When the train goes its fastest, it's when it's by itself.
Correct.
Like when we
Open
cut
season.
Through Quantico,
correct,
the Marine base here in Virginia. We cut through that, and it's mostly woods, and you get the nice view of the lake there, Quantico, which is really pretty in the morning.
Yep.
We're hauling ass, but when we slow down, when we're going through the populated areas, same thing if you go the other line through Manassas and stuff in Virginia, you slow down through the populated. It doesn't feel like to me that the person was doing the right thing, because if you're going through an area like that, you're not doing 80.
Yeah.
That's how accidents happen.
Exactly.
Case in point.
You've been stationed in Germany though, right?
Yes.
Have you been on the ice train, the true bullet train in Germany from the No pun intended.
There've been a lot of trains in Europe, but yeah, that thing hauled.
Yeah, that thing was like it went 115 miles an hour or something like that. I mean, it was a true bullet train that flew down the track.
Just don't look outside; you'll throw up.
Yeah, do not look outside; you will chuck. It was actually smooth until you looked outside. Then you felt every vibration. It was really weird. We had to get used to that. But it was not going that fast. An ice train goes a hell of a lot faster than I think an Amtrak train would go. I don't even think an Amtrak would even be able to sustain that speed. A true bullet train. But I don't think that's what I was asking. If that line was previously used, because I know some of the freight lines near Fort Hood, they don't even haul ass. They I think the fastest I ever seen them go, because I passed them up on next to 35, is that I'll drive by them and the train is cooking along pretty good, and I'm only going 50, 55, 60 miles an hour, and the train is going at that. You know what I mean? When I have your cruise control set or something like that, and I'm pulling a trailer, I'm usually going as fast as a train. It's about 50 or 60 miles an hour. So I've never seen or never heard of a passenger train like that hauling ass.
Oh, yeah. So the Washington State Department of Transportation said it had received grants to improve the existing freight tracks for passenger use on the new rail route. Quote, today was the first day of public use of the tracks after weeks of inspections and training, the agency said in a statement. So this, maybe the tracks were, I'm okay. So I will preface this by saying I am neither a conductor nor have I ever worked on the rails. Have I worked on the tracks? Have built tracks? So I don't know. So when I say this, maybe, I don't know if maybe, the freight, because freighters are always going a little bit slower, that maybe these tracks couldn't handle going 80 miles per hour. Now, that is in the report that so far that we're getting right now, is that the train was going 80. That's pretty fast, and like we've already stated, that's pretty fast through a residential populated area itself. To me, it sounds like the tracks just weren't prepared,
weren't prepped exactly
for that kind of train to go that fast on it, especially the first day. Like, what were you running behind and you couldn't slow the fuck down?
Yeah, I was about to say, really, when you think about that, usually your first time when it comes to something like that, you're testing something out, you're not pushing the limit of that. It would be gradual. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's right. Great Klaus said that Japanese trains. Oh my, the Japanese trains go faster than the ice trains in Germany. I mean, I've never been to Japan, so I wouldn't know that, but I do know that the ice train is from what I was told, is a slower version than a Japanese bullet train. And those things fly down the freight. They're literally flying on magnets down the rails, just hauling ass. Yeah, I just like I said, well, we'll stick to the keep our ears to the ground on this, because again, it's a tragedy that this event happened, and like you said, I really hope that. I mean, and you notice, have you already noticed that, have you seen some of the images, they're already starting to yellow tape and cordon off certain pieces of parts? Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Because, every piece is going to tell a story.
Correct.
But now, luckily for this situation, the whole train isn't in shambles and pieces.
And that I was about to say, exactly that.
And so there's a good chance that maybe if there's a piece that malfunctioned, that it's an isolated spot. Maybe there was one... I hate not knowing exactly the words. The wheels that go to the track. Maybe there was one that caught on something. Maybe it was a worn piece or something. There's a lot of opportunities, and I say that's not in a good way. There's a lot of opportunities for stuff to go wrong, and maybe it was something overlooked. They spent so much time looking at the tracks that they didn't actually look at the train to make sure the train was good to go.
Yeah, that's true. That's
maybe there was some kind of foreign object on the train track that hit something and caused it to bump up and jump off the tracks. Especially at that speed, if you bump off the tracks, you could take the whole thing off.
Yeah, that's really a good point too. The train was not made to go that fast. Like they picked the wrong train to do it. Yeah. A lot of the train is in the wooded area. Exactly, John.
So I mean, we can at least say that everyone needs to count their blessings that this wasn't a worse incident, especially in a populated area. We reported in the first hour that a couple of cars were hit by the train that's dangling off the back. So it did actually have more than just the effect to the the people riding itself, but the folks on the ground. What happens if something would have happened maybe a little earlier and the whole train came off the track and went into the road where people were driving? I mean, we can at least count our blessings that this wasn't worse, but it's still people are dead, people are hurt, answers need to come forth, and they're going to be working diligently because this is on a national scale, and with the president, other politicians, they're trying to push an infrastructure bill, which I guarantee something about railways will be in there. This is going to continue to be a highlighted thing, and probably, let me put my tinfoil hat on, but I wonder if this is going to be a national thing of we need to check all our train tracks and this, that, and the other, and it's going to be made into a much bigger thing. I don't know.
I want you to make a bet net neutrality is going to be the minimum too.
Net neutrality caused the train track thing.
I'm telling you, man, that everyone's reaching. Jimmy Kimmel's going to come on here and he's going to make a comment about the trains and all that. I know, like you were saying about the president.
He's going to bring 2 kids this time.
He's going to. Oh man, yeah. So we'll keep you guys posted. Right now, everyone's talking about. We will get posted. Or pay attention to the news too. But remember, always make sure you always three source it, meaning that you looked at three different sources that are of the normal reporting. Usually, if you
credible,
credible,
credible
yeah. Usually, if you go by
if you come out with Breitbart, I will throw shit at you, or that. I can never say that little was it Mika Michaelopoulos or the gay guy who works for Breitbart?
Freaking Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yeah, that guy.
You don't like that guy? I think he's fucking hilarious.
He's funny, but he's funny when he's like tearing up people that like. How do I put it this way? I loathe his writing because I feel it's a lot of. It's kind of weird, you kind of like, it's like, he's a gay guy who's engaged to a black guy. And
he's
when
Republican.
People call him racist, I'm like,
and he's Republican.
It doesn't really work.
And he's Republican.
Isn't that a strange concept?
He's Republican.
It is funny when you watch some of the videos of people trying to come at him. He's a smart guy. Like, I kind of hate that he's so smart because it makes it harder to hate him. I won't say hate. I really don't hate anybody except Michael Moore and Nancy Pelosi and a couple other people. But anyways, I find him being annoying. And then he had his moment in the sun, and then all of a sudden he messed up, and now he's brushed away. By watching him dismantle some people, especially when they were there's one video where there's a female comes up and was addressing feminism, but she's addressing it where she puts him on the defense, like, so don't you think women, don't you think women do this, that, and the other? Don't you think people of color, don't you believe this? And he dismantles it, and it was actually fun to watch. But then when he writes, it's anyways. If you cite those two,
I don't know he wrote
Rachel Maddow shit, then I'm probably gonna laugh at you. But
if
you see something before we do, keep us informed.
I didn't know he wrote. I didn't know he wrote. I thought he was just a guy who was just jumping on freaking Twitter and.
He had a book. He had a book deal, and then that got pulled. But no, I
didn't know he wrote.
He got banned from Twitter. But no, he used to write articles and op-eds and opinion pieces for Breitbart and a couple other things. Like, he's a full-fledged commentator from the almost a little too far right side, but whatever. But I do have a fun story for you that comes out of. I saw this here in the great Commonwealth of Virginia, coming out of a town called Stafford, Virginia. Apparently, somebody got fired from a Pizza Hut. So what had happened? Do you order pizza very often?
Yes, I do, actually.
Do you notice that they start adding special requests column piece in there?
Yes.
So I've done that.
I
think one time when my wife went to visit her mom in Georgia, I was bored. I was playing video games all day, so I was like, I would like a high five. So when the guy opened the door and he's like, "Oh, don't forget your high five. Give me a nice high five." I was like, "Hell yeah!" Well, this lady and her 2 sons, she let her sons do the special request, and they ordered their pizza from Pizza Hut, which is, I don't support Pizza Hut. Fuck off. But they WTF Nation Radio.
I was about to say, dude.
They did the special thing and said they would like a joke in the box. So they wanted a joke. So the driver wrote a joke in the inside of the pizza box. The problem was the family did not did not like the actual joke itself. I'm trying to find it real quick because it was pretty stupid. Hold on. Well, they didn't like the joke, and the lady actually got fired. The Pizza Hut person. There we go. No, wrong one. No, it makes it hard. Why can I not find it now? I just had it, and then my phone decided to reset, or my computer decided to refresh its Facebook. So now so the joke was just okay. So she called Pizza Hut. She complained. She bitched and complained or whatnot. But then there's a couple of sites. There's one called Stafford Talk, and then there's one called Stafford Unleashed. These are Facebook group pages that started tearing her apart. So much so that she was featured on ABC 7 News in Virginia, claiming cyberbullying after she got the chick fired. And because nothing you put on the internet actually goes away permanently. She's kind of a racist herself.
Whoa.
Damn it. Stafford.
I got it. It was. Hang on, I'll give it to you. Let me give it to you here because this is your story, and I'll get it to your help you out with the details here on the deets. I know exactly what you're talking about. It was a joke that was written in the lid of the box. And the lid of the box had a joke that I don't even know
awesome.
What's the punchline? What was the joke?
What do pizza delivery drivers and gynecologists have in common?
What is it?
They both get to smell it, but they don't get to eat it.
Oh.
So
that was a
it's
joke.
Been all over.
See, you were quick with that joke.
Over in Virginia, all these different groups that are now being like, Stafford Talk and Stafford Unleashed, that are being looked down upon for cyberbullying, even though this chick is worse. But yeah, her two teenage boys did it. It's pretty crazy. Being in Virginia and actually seeing something so stupid come on the local television news was pretty incredible. So much so that people have actually started going on this particular Pizza Hut's Facebook page and doing 1-star reviews with the hashtag Justice for Pizza Girl.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't her. It was a special request that was requested by the client, and the worker, on behalf of the Pizza Hut, wrote it on the inside of the box, and now the person who delivered it and wrote the freaking message is now getting fragged for it. You're right. It's bullshit.
It's bullshit, and then the same lady decides to claim cyberbullying, and she wouldn't show her face on this. What do you call it? She wouldn't show her face on the TV report because she didn't want more backlash and stuff like that.
No, she was shocked. She was shocked.
It's pretty. Not a lot of stuff comes out of Stafford or Stafford County here in Virginia. It's kind of not a lot goes on, but to see that, it's just one of those times where it's like, holy crap, what happened to everybody? That's my stupid story of the day because I just couldn't like.
Well, my stupid story.
It's been crazy. Like I've had to go onto some of these groups just to read the comments, and people are vicious.
Well, exactly. My stupid story is the Carolina Panthers. Even though I don't follow football anymore as much as I used to, because they suck. The Carolina Panthers too. They're just the Carolina Panthers. I'm just saying. If I was still a follower of the NFL, I would say that I am not a Carolina Panther fan. So I could say that. However, they're now up for sale.
Because somebody was being naughty.
Yeah, somebody. So I guess. So this stupid story is the fact that the owner of the Carolina Panthers, he was the guy who founded it. He was the one that pushed for Carolina to get an expansion team and to get it instilled, and was the one that was part of it getting awarded to or getting from the NFL and getting the Bank of America stadium built. Although it is a crappy fucking stadium, it's still a football team that is worth $2.3 billion. So this guy did everything he could to bring to, I don't know, turn Charlotte from the already dump that it is to an improved, I guess, make it improved. You know, because every state wants to have an NFL team. Come on. Especially if it's going to be in one of the larger metropolitan areas that is going to be, it's going to be, like I said, because if you ever been to Charlotte, North Carolina, it's Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm not from Charlotte, North Carolina to say yes or no, but it's an okay state to be, but I'm not from North Carolina, so I couldn't tell you. Anything that would bring the NFL or a major sport, a sporting franchise to it would obviously revitalize that area, that community.
Especially to an untapped area.
Oh my God,
the Carolina.
Well, and I was just about to say, North Carolina and South Carolina are untapped resources for such venues. Not everything has to be college football. I didn't realize until I lived in the South how big of a deal fucking college football was, even more so than
college
NASCAR.
Football
and
is life. Go
it
Bulldogs.
Is,
UGA all the way. Beat up Auburn. It was so great. And then watching Miami not get in. Oh my God. And Alabama losing.
Okay, so my roundabout to my stupid story.
Alabama got it. Never mind. Go ahead.
So my roundabout to the stupid story is that all these sexual harassment stuff is now coming up. It's now it's the virus has spread to the NFL. And reports
About time.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on.
The racist bug already hit the NFL. Might as well bring in the
sexual
misconduct.
I mean, come on. Well, let's talk about domestic violence too already at NFL. So sexual and racial remarks made by the Carolina Panthers owner and founder Jerry Richardson said he's selling the franchise after the season ends. So he's done. He's out. And it was just like it was a shock to everybody because no one knew that there was this investigation happening with the Carolina Panthers. Everyone thought it was like, oh, okay, whatever. So, now everyone's like wondering, what did he do? What did he say? Because everyone, like you said, everybody wants to jump on the grievance train. Everybody wants to jump on the let's see what this guy did. Hey, look, if if you want to go and sell your team, you should, and because you're stepping down and you feel you have a moral compulsion to do it, then do it. Leave the guy alone. Let him do it. However, now P. Diddy or Puff Daddy or Sean Combs, the dude that
I think he changed his name again.
Did he change his name to the symbol?
I thought there was something else. Like soon it's just gonna be like a period, and that's gonna be his.
That's gonna be his symbol because Prince had the whatever thingy, the Ankh, the Egyptian Ankh mixed with some whatever, and then so now it would appear that P. Diddy. No shit, P. Diddy wants to buy the team. Now,
oh yeah. So
P. Diddy, I couldn't even imagine. I didn't realize that P. Diddy he must be worth a lot of fucking loot, dude.
Because he's a producer on, like, you throw a rock, you'll find somebody who has has his company.
Exactly.
Or he's done like, okay. So whether you like P. Diddy or not, I wasn't a big fan of his music growing up. I don't know. It's just, it was Eminem and then it was like Ludacris for me, but not really, P. Diddy and a lot of East Coast, upper East Coast stuff. But he's been very smart. He's a good mogul. He's invested in a lot of things, and it's made him almost as well as Russell Simmons, who else has gotten in trouble. But he's loaded. Like, he's got cash.
Yeah, and another thing too is that he's like Jay-Z. He's an entrepreneur in other aspects that you don't realize aside from being a recording artist. So more like you said, whether you like him or not, it's props that they're doing that. So here's what the fix is. Everyone's now freaking the fuck out because now they don't know what to do. They don't know what this decision's going to be for this guy to walk away after, like I said, he's for 25 years he was the owner of the freaking team. And so now nobody knows, what are we going to do? Or who's going to buy it? And are they going to keep the team in Charlotte? So that's what the big drama is right now. They're like, oh shit. Now what's
it's harder to put anyone anywhere else now with the LA teams moving to Las Vegas and to actual LA.
Oh yeah, it's going to take some time.
There's not many places to go with a big enough market.
Correct.
You can't. I mean,
correct.
Where do you got left? Idaho, Idaho, Montana, the Dakotas. You can't. I mean, it's hard finding another spot for him. So I don't think they'd be able to move him, but it's still a possibility.
Exactly. Well, I mean, the Panthers, and I will say this, whether you like the Panthers or not, they are a good team. They're not a bad team. It's not like they've not completely sucked. So they're really good, and now because of what's going on, everyone was talking about how the city of Charlotte is going to be able to recover this stuff, because now they've gotten to their stadium, they're in it now, and they're even talking about doing another stadium, and now now with what's going on with the NFL and its controversy, they're talking about, well, you can't ask the taxpayers to freaking to move them. You know what I mean? You can't ask the taxpayers to build them a new stadium like they did freaking Dallas and all that. But what's caused the controversy now is the fact that if P. Diddy were to buy the Panthers, he said he will sign Colin Kaepernick to play.
So I saw that. Do you want to now get the bumper off of that?
Go ahead.
Colin Kaepernick wants in to buy the Carolina Panthers with P. Diddy.
Correct. I was just about to say correct.
Okay, good. I didn't know if you knew that or not, because you did a great ending.
No.
Yes, that's almost as like I first saw the signing, and I'm like, of course. I said the only way Colin Kaepernick can get a quarterback job is somebody has to give it to him.
Correct.
Because nobody else wants to pay him to do a job. That was
gonna be my Pizza Bucks punchline. Yes,
I ruined it.
It's okay. It's okay, man. I mean, I didn't ruin your stupid story of the day, but you could ruin mine. But I appreciate it, PAO. Fucking Spotlight Rangers. But no,
assholes.
but that's the case. Is that he also wants to invest into the piece of the team. So not only will P. Diddy be part of it, but Colin Kaepernick will be part of it, and he will also be part of the team. He wants to play.
Can you do that? Can you own and play for the team?
Well, generally most players are already old. Like for instance, Elway, doesn't he run the fucking Broncos?
He's like their general manager.
Yeah. So, but he's too old to play. You know what I mean? It's that type of situation. I think it's the age, and I don't even think I guarantee it. There'll be, I don't know what will be the exactly that conflict. Yeah, holy conflict of interest. How would that happen? Would the Panthers lose on its anti-Kaepernick? Because you have to admit it, right now nobody gives a fuck about Colin Kaepernick, and nobody gives a fuck. If you looked at the stands and you've looked at football lately, you looked at their stats being low. You look at their fucking. I mean, come on.
No one cares about the kneeling anymore.
No. That's what I'm saying. But nobody cares about the kneeling anymore. But that also means that the fans don't care about the NFL anymore. Because if you look at the fucking stadiums, you could see that they're just about empty. I mean, now.
Yeah, the Sunday night game against the Patriots versus the Steelers got robbed. All you Patriot fans, and you know it. And if any NFL referees are listening, doubtful, but you never know, y'all blew that fucking shit. But anyways, they had like one of the lowest Sunday night football ratings, which is pretty crazy because usually Sunday nights like shit. Like if I don't get to watch the 1 o'clock games, I'd be damned if I'm not watching the 8 o'clock one. So it's pretty, and it's always prime time, big channel, But it's pretty crazy to see the effect, and that's what they tell people. It's like, hey, look, if you don't like the product, don't buy it. And that's exactly what's happening. So that's why notice how teams aren't doing. They don't have teams doing that. You don't have ESPN, Twitter. No one's really kneeling because everyone's been taking a price hit, including the owners, who I'm sure went, "Hey guys, knock it off."
Well, Alan brings up a good point in Facebook Live. If you own a store, can you work in it too? Is it not really a conflict of interest? I mean, you know what I mean? And that's a good point. If I own a
does
store,
conflict of interest really apply when it's not in a government position or something where you can actually have like influence over like policy? Like I guess it's what if I own a bar and I work at and I'm the bartender at my bar, can I work at my bar? So I it's like how many old guys that are retired this is my bar, I got it after I retired out of the Army, and I've been serving drinks since 1982, back when you were like 30 something, and
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
if I owned a
guess
bar,
it's the same thing. But
if
it's
I owned a
still
bar,
kinda
but
weird to have somebody who is both a part owner, whatever how small that part is, and the starting football coach, football player.
Now, isn't there some sort of? I wonder what the NFL bylaws or the guidelines would say about that. Does he have to go? In other words, does he have to go through the same enrollment process like anybody else? Would not he could not have to go through a draft? Does he not have to go through?
Well, technically, no one actually has to go through a draft. You can be an undrafted
You could be a
free
walk-on
agent and get picked up.
He could be a
But
walk-on.
The hard part is the rest of the owners kind of have to sign off on this, which I don't think that. I think if P Diddy by himself, they would have been fine. I mean, P Diddy and whatever else, because it's still a expensive team, and I don't think he's got that much money. And it's just like Derek Jeter and the other investors that bought the Florida Marlins. Same thing. P Diddy will probably be the primary investor, and there'll be a couple other people. But I can't expect Colin Kaepernick to own that much. He didn't get paid that much when he played, and he wasn't playing for that long. But who knows? I mean, he could get signed. Yeah, I mean, if he could be signed today by anybody, I mean, who's to say he can't do that? But the owners have to sign off on that, which I don't think it's good. P Diddy by himself with his investors probably had a good chance.
Yeah, probably.
P Diddy with Colin Kaepernick, who's started the cause that caused all
the NFL crash, man.
Yeah,
I'm serious. It's the end of the.
Tell you what, for the longest time, baseball was like football was more popular than any other sport in USA. Now, and granted, thank you to a great playoff series this year, and Astros kicked ass, but a great playoff series. But baseball is back in a big way.
Oh yeah,
and football's taking just a monstrous hit, and maybe finally, it wasn't going to happen the first couple weeks of people, deciding to boycott it or just not to accept the product. But hey, it bit them in the ass.
Well, I think also is the fact that the audience of, I don't know, it just seems like baseball in itself draws a different demographic. It just, and in other words, you had that one fucking catcher from the Oakland A's take a knee, and then you didn't hear anything about that kid ever again after that. It was almost like after that, everyone else did not fucking take a knee. You did not see any. That's why I am now a follower of baseball again, is because it's almost like the WTF Nation. They handled it themselves. There was no need for any owners, any announcements, anybody from the league. It just all of a sudden he did it, and then after that it was fucking done. Oh, thank you, Al. A CSM of the Army, President I still think. No. I have no. I have too many ex-wives. Too many ex-wives that would bring up shit from my past. But I appreciate it. I'm humbled by the compliment. Go Stros. Man, whatever. I'm not an Astros fan. But going back to what I was saying.
Hey, Alan, I'll give the Astros they fought a good series, and I was hoping they weren't going to get past my Yankees, but they did. They won it for the American League. Good. Next year, y'all getting your ass stomped on.
Oh yeah, Dodgers
Aaron
coming
Judge
back.
and Giancarlo Stanton, back to back, baby, with Gary Sanchez and DJ Gregorius. Y'all are screwed.
Dodgers are
about to be murder row with
Dodgers
the
Yankees. Dodgers are gonna realize after they sucked on this one, they're gonna come back. No, but you were right. Think about this though. You have also former members of the NBA that want to jump in on it too. Stephen Curry, who is a Charlotte native, says, "Hey, I want to fucking do this too. I want to buy this." So, Speedway Motorsports chairman Broughton Smith and his son, CEO Marcus Smith, have expressed interest in purchasing the Panthers if they want it. So it's not just P. Diddy and then Colin Kaepernick. There are other people that want to do it, that want to check it out. The Panthers are loaded with minority owners, including the Smokey Bassell, Family Dollar founder Leon Levin, and members of the Belk family, developer John Harris, who was the guy that brought the Wells Fargo championship to Charlotte, and later the PGA championship to Charlotte, and then of course Michael Jordan. And nobody knows what his interest is, but he's talking to other investors. So it's not just P. Diddy or Colin Kaepernick that's involved in this too. I'm curious to see who would own it, but then again,
You mean who'd be the face of it?
It would be exactly that. So you would see the owner of the Carolina Panthers, because I didn't know who the fuck the owner of the Carolina Panthers was until he said today that he was going to step down because he said some sexual and racial comments, which I didn't know. Nobody knew. Nobody focused on that. And
it's just like what's his name? Stern from was it Golden State who had him and his wife / ex-wife sold off his share because he made sexually charged.
Yeah.
The creepy bastard.
Yeah. Well, not to, like I said, just mixed. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. It was
his
racist.
girlfriend. He was racist.
He told his
girlfriend. Yeah.
She was a sexy little Milana looking chick, but not for her not to bring her I think it was like her hood friends around.
Yeah, her
or
hood
this,
friends
that,
around.
The it's like and
they was dropping N-words to her and she recorded it. So yeah,
that's what you get.
Exactly, that's exactly what you get. You start going off on your old lady and she's recording you. Oh man, there needs to be you need to set like an EMP around, if you got that type of relationship, so that way you don't get your shit fucking recorded. But yeah, so it's up in the air who's going to own the Panthers. Personally, as far as what I think for North Carolina, I think it would be bad for North Carolina if Charlotte were to lose the Panthers.
It'd be horrible. I mean,
it would devastate their economy.
I don't think that the city would allow it. I think they'd fight so hard.
Oh, they would. They would,
because that would just kill that would hurt their economy big time.
No, it would hurt their economy. It would hurt the identity of an NFL team being in North Carolina. You know what I mean? That was hard because they were deciding it was either going to be in South Carolina or North Carolina, and that's why they put it in Charlotte because it was closer. It was, in other words, both states can both of the Carolinas can both enjoy that team. So
just like the New England Patriots are in Massachusetts, but they're close enough where Vermont, Maine, everyone can get to them.
Exactly that. So
fuck the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to find the yeah, exactly. The owl saying where are the recordings for me and my old ladies. Yeah. Well, some of them were transcribed on stone tablets because I'm old. So you're not those are like historical. The National Archives have my recordings of me and my my first few wives. So yeah. So we'll see what happens. Again, I say it's a stupid story because I think it's I think somebody who's involved in it's almost like Colin Kaepernick, dude. The grown-ups are talking. Shut up. You know what I mean? It's almost like that. I want to buy a team too. Shut up, dude. P. Diddy has got the cash. These other individuals got the cash. These guys have money and they have investment and they have ties to Charlotte and North Carolina to be able to purchase it. Colin Kaepernick, dude, shut up. You're not even... No way, dude. No way. Yeah, that's something too. You're right. Yeah, exactly that. Alan said that a good owner would sell it to another owner who signs a contract promising to keep the team in Charlotte for a certain amount of years. And then come up
that's probably what's going to happen.
I was about to say.
I don't feel the hard part is worrying about a team getting a group of owners taking the Carolina Panthers out because they've built such a base. It's not like you said, they're winning. They're a good team. It's not like the 49ers before they've had, the last season or two before the motion started, where they've had shit teams, or the Rams or the Chargers. They both were pretty much shit teams, even though, holy shit, the Rams have surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But they were shit teams when they got moved.
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers, even when Cam Newton's crying after a game because he lost and he doesn't want to talk to the media or something like that, or they lose a heartbreaker, they're still a good team at the end of the day. As much as I hate to say it,
they are
a good team. Good teams don't move.
No,
you're never. Good teams don't move, and I don't think I think the hardest part's going to be finding an owner or an owner group that's is going to be accepted by the other owners, because the other owners have a say in a way, but then dealing with the fact that whoever you bring on is gonna matter. I mean, they brought in Derek Jeter along, as one of the owners to be the face of the organization because it's Derek fucking Jeter, who is still the MVP for the Yankees for that freaking trade for Stanton. But I mean, Colin Kaepernick, I think P. Diddy himself, cool. Colin Kaepernick just does something. It's going to rub all these owners the wrong way because he started this taking a knee for the national anthem that started this whole thing. That's now the people are going, hey, we don't want to watch anymore, and their ratings are sucked, which means the money's sucking.
Yeah.
That they're not going to be so inclined to have the guy who started that be an owner.
No, exactly.
Like, it's like, hey,
No
dude,
way,
do you
dude.
understand this? These bad, the bad ratings will affect you too.
Yeah,
and your bottom line.
Yeah, and exactly that. And they were your fault to begin with.
Yeah, jackass.
But I'm
getting
not
all awards for doing absolutely nothing. But hey, whatever.
But yeah, I was about to say. So, hey, real quick, let me just do some quick house cleaning for you guys that are on day off schedule, half-day schedule, that you're assigned to your units right now. You can tune into WTFNation.com on the website. Jump on the Facebook. You can check it out. We have Monday through Friday with a Dons in the middle, or day of no scheduled activities. Spanky. Wednesday is a no-show. But Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we have 2 daytime shows from 12 to 1400 on Tuesdays and Thursdays with KJ and the Taco Truck and Ghosty. Today we had Dan Thurs from TacticalReviews.com, and like I said, check it out. If you got some weapons that you want to give him, go ahead. He'll test them out for you. This Thursday we're going to have Christopher Beatty from Semper Canine. Served 6 overseas deployments to include 4 combat deployments to the Middle East while deployed to use dogs to search for enemy bombs and other explosives. When he returned, he faced bouts of post-traumatic stress disorder, but Beatty has no regrets. The decision has made him serve to lead what he believes to be his true calling, Semper Canine Assistance Dogs. We're going to have, this Friday, we're going to have Tex from Rugged Saints Outdoors. Tex will be on to talk about how Rugged Saints Outdoors promotes healing and wellness for disabled veterans by providing them with fantastic opportunities for special hunting and fishing trips. Man, I would love to do that. I want to go fishing. It's kind of like you're just chilling, but not in the wintertime.
We need to go on a WTF like fishing trip.
But yeah, but it's got to be like temperate and shit, not this balls fucking hot or balls fucking cold type crap. What was that? We were about the same age. Yeah. There was collusion and they knew it. So for the holidays, not going to be doing Christmas show. Christmas Eve, Christmas show. Yeah, I mean, if the hosts want to do it for that assigned day, I ain't doing it for Christmas. Sorry. Hanging out with the kids. You should too. But you can catch a podcast on WTFNationRadio.com, or there might be like a sound check or something like that. You never know. But the 26th of December, there will be a show with Brittany Kennard, who's a veteran who was injured in Iraq. We'll be on to talk about the SD Gunner Fund and what they do for veterans and disabled children. The SD Gunner Fund was created to assist veterans and disabled children with the financial expense of owning much needed service animals. That's going to be good. That's going to be a good one, because I always have the question about what's the difference between a service and a therapy and what was the other one? Support animals. There's like 3 of them. So that'd be some good questions to ask. So aside from,
and don't forget, we're always looking for new on-air talent. We're always looking for social media monkeys. We're right now looking for a graphic artist / designer to help us out with our ever expanding efforts and awesomeness. So head on over to WTFNationRadio.com and apply. Follow the directions, because we've had people not follow the directions and have not had great interviews because they couldn't follow directions. But we are looking for on-air talent, social media folks, admin folks, and more importantly, graphics people. So, if you fit into those bills, someone who does, tell them to go to WTFNationRadio.com and apply today.
Now, here's some I'm glad you brought that up. Fill out the form in its entirety. Leave no blanks. It's easy shit. Position you're applying for, on-air talent. If you don't have any experience doing on-air talent, yeah. However, if you have some social media experience, or you don't want to do some on-air talent, or you want
to work with the Flash,
and you want to work with Flash,
just saying,
yeah. Then that would be more your forte. If you are in a position that you are in a high vis position, that you are more likely get in trouble. If you were to work for WTF Nation, that would be a risk that you have to run. It just, again, we would discuss this with you, but please fill out that application. Do not use the Facebook page to apply. Do not, because it will. That's not. That Facebook page isn't mine. It belongs to Flash.
I will point and laugh at you And then if I'm nice enough, I will kindly direct you to
Yeah.
go to the website. But yeah, go to the website. You're going to get all the information you want there. You know, you'll see everything that's going on. You'll see all about us and the inner workings. And if you have like specific questions, feel free to message the Facebook page or email or contact the website, and we will answer your questions to the best of our ability, because we want the most talented people working, because we work with the most talented, creative people in the veteran community. That's why they're all with WTF Nation Radio.
Damn, dude. Yeah, that was a recording itself already. So nice, good shit. So with that,
that's that AFN skills right there.
Yeah, you want to join and be a great team? We're going to join. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining, and have a good night. Shots.
Shots.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its scenes while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my still remain within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, with the halo I turn my collar to the cold and dark, and my eyes will stand by the flash of a neon light that split the night, and touch the sound of silence, and in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs and voices never shared, and no one dared to spend the sound of silence. Forfeit you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops fell, and echoed in the wells of silence, and the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out his morning, and the words that it was forming, in the signs and the words of the prophets of midnight. would never ever break.
Some of the people appointed to give an opinion never do get it. I want you to come on and gobble a Jimmy and die. Need to be given the remedy and why critics are really the enemy and can't stand the way they slam today's gifted. Effing incredible, get fanned away with grants to pay. This gem well a scripted, definite impeccable. Right around, I'm gonna put everything in a flow. I'm the nine, I'ma look very me when I'm foe. Scribe-a-lomedy has never been at a show. By the time to be better living in the stove. Cause they wrote nothing but lies, quotes stuck in my eyes. Amateur writer dissing. He's a beginner and hopes for your demise. Folks, I'm a despise, never do try to listen. It's real, I'm mad. Clueless when you scribble on your pad. How you gonna criticize with a chisel on your ass, sizzle in your ass? You don't really get why I'm so pissed. Understand this. Understand this. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. Yes, I'm.
Tell me that I'm famous. Tell me that my name is big as Venus. You really
The bitches, they love visuals.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.